Does it look like Macaulay Culkin's on our podcast?
Yeah.
Kind of. A little bit.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, hello and
Like
welcome to the Confused Breakfast. Do you remember the pure joy of a trip to the video rental store as a kid?
Yeah.
It's hard to beat the ease of the modern era in streaming platforms where you don't even have to leave your couch. But there was something truly special about heading to Blockbuster, picking out the new Angels with Filthy Souls sequel, and heading home to watch with an ice cream buffet. On this podcast, we revisit and dissect some of our favorite childhood movies from that magical era to see if they still move us the way they did as kids. My name is Mike Schulte. Joining me, as always, two skags with slightly darker shades of skin, Sean Pryor and AJ Venz. How the heck are you?
It's the driving. The sun's just beaming on my face the whole time.
That's right.
That's what it is.
You got that driver's tan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Prefer to know how you're a skag instead of the darker skin.
No, you don't.
You sure?
You don't want to know.
You know, there's a lot of terms in this movie, like trout sniffer.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something you could really dive into.
Do you know the
Perhaps
word?
we will.
Do you know the word skag has been said in two different movies that we've done?
Really?
Do you know what the other one is? It's Airborne. When Mitchell Guzman's like, the skags on the board ripped right through his back. He said that. Yeah, he said skags.
Skags.
Are those little fin flipper feet?
Yeah, the skags, dude.
That's what they are?
Yeah.
Skags. All right. I'm gonna confirm that.
Cool. Well, boys,
Join
it's
us next
so-
week.
We're so excited to be here. Today, we are going to discuss the third highest grossing film of 1992. This movie held the record for highest grossing comedy sequels for more than 10 years. And director Chris Columbus has stated in interviews that he considers this sequel to be better than the original.
Whoa.
We're, of course, talking about 1992's Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
Well, dang it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another nostalgic journey to the past with the Confused Breakfast. Sit back, relax, and enjoy wherever you are in the world. Take it away, boys.
Let you know that I just typed in skag, define, and it just comes up with one noun, heroin.
Well,
and that's it.
well then, cool.
That's from the Oxford
Mitchell
Dictionary.
Guzman was using slang terms.
Okay.
That's not an actual term.
Using
Slang of slang.
Put it on the record. I've never been skag. I've never done skag. I never want to see skag.
Promise.
So Buzz called his sister a heroine with a slightly darker shade of skin.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, hey, guys, if you're new to this podcast, it's great to have you here. We're going to be reviewing Home Alone 2 Lost in New York scene by scene with a modern eye. But in order to do that properly, we feel we must discuss it with nostalgia first. A lot of people say, God, you guys are the best. Your formula is so great. And I think a lot of it has to do with this, nostalgia.
Everyone's saying that. Yeah.
Everybody's saying it.
says
AJ, first time you saw this, what were your thoughts about it?
First time I saw this, guys, let's go back to Christmas when we did Home Alone.
Episode number 6 or something like that.
It was because it was in our first year,
Way
right?
back, yes.
Man, we had to knock it down hard in that year, so we did Home Alone, and that was definitely one of the first times I remember saying, "Yeah, I watched number 2 probably first,
Whoa.
and really." Kind of got familiar more with number 2 than I did with number 1, and I remember watching number 2, and when you are the right age, when you're 10 years old, when you're that kid's age, Kevin McAllister's age in New York, watching this happen, and it comes around to your own limousine with cheese pizza, you're just like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Most of those toys aren't the coolest toys I've ever seen, but I bet there's some really cool stuff in there.
He just hasn't got to the back of the
Yeah,
room
he just hadn't
yet.
gotten the cool parts. That being said, I love this movie. I think I'm sure it has some deep-seated ideas of why I love to travel and sometimes just also don't mind traveling alone. And I'm just you know what? This is it's like several dreams rolled into one, and it's something I loved. I would nostalgically, I will go as far as to give this. Let's just do it. 10 out of 10, guys.
Dang.
Nostalgic.
10 out of 10. AJ sometimes likes to travel alone. I always like to travel alone. Sean, what
Whoa.
about you, buddy?
I didn't want to say always, but
No, it's the truth.
it's true.
I like to see movies alone.
There you go. See? Home Alone. See, you get it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Travel alone, watch movies alone.
Yeah. Just be alone.
But he's not home. But yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna. We should stop doing this podcast.
Yeah.
You got to do it with people.
Yeah, jeez. Sort of like you, AJ. Yeah, I got Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, and Home Alone mixed up all the damn time. I don't know which one I watch more. They both kind of run together for me, just kind of like Back to the Future 1 and 2. They're just like seamless kind of. I just watch them back to back. It doesn't really matter. You could throw either one of them on, and I'll just be happy. Back then, I'd probably have to say I liked this movie a lot, so 9.3.
9.3 for Sean. I'm going to break you in the middle there. I'm going to go a 9.5. I gave the original a 10. I definitely saw the original first. And then, again, this one just being one of the coolest sequels around, truthfully. Like, other than Back to the Future, these were interchangeable. They were incredible. They've always been an every year watch. 1, 2. You have to do it. I'm going to come down a little bit nostalgically to a 9.5, but it's pretty big deal. Love this movie growing up. We got an executive producer, Michael Guiliano. He says, so much like Terminator and Alien and Die Hard, Home Alone is yet another one of those movies where I saw a sequel before the original. Look at that. In fact, not to step on the toes of my modern day review, I'm starting to question whether or not I've seen the original Home Alone in its entirety. Home Alone 2 was my go-to Christmas movie growing up. This movie fully convinced me that there were no other airlines besides American. All hotels came with complimentary limo service, and that I'd be able to use my own talkboy to make prank phone calls. It never worked, but it didn't stop me from trying. This was a near-perfect Christmas movie for me. It had more action than the 24-hour Christmas Story marathon that popped up every year, and it didn't make me want to jump off a bridge George Bailey style like It's a Wonderful Life. It's a wonderful movie, but our mother made us watch it so often that I need 5 more years of avoiding it before I can give it another chance. The only thing knocking it off from a perfect 10 is that I remember it actually freaking me out a lot, mostly with Daniel Stern's performance. I remember having to physically leave the room whenever that bit happened with the jumper cables in the sink. Too spooky for a kid like me. Nostalgic 9. So if you're gonna look at this is a 9.45 for us as a group nostalgically, which is gonna take you to the number 1 spot of any movie that we have ever done. It's kind of surprising because Home Alone.
Feel good?
Yeah, I feel really
I don't
good.
know where the difference is here because Home Alone is a 7.66 nostalgically. And if you go all the way back, it's because I gave it a 7.9 and AJ gave it an 8.2. I don't know what's going on. Oh, sorry, those are post ratings. AJ was a 6, Sean was a 7, I was a 10 for the first one. So you guys really like the second one quite a bit. It's number 1.
Well, we all know that this doesn't matter.
And that's the weirdest part is like I'm spending so much time talking about what the rating is when we're going to literally not give a shit from here on out.
You know what matters? Is our modern day.
You know what matters is Sean starting us off with all the important details that we need to know to get this party going.
Yeah. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. All the same people. Just like no, I'm just kidding. Produced by Duncan Henderson, Mark Radcliffe, and John Hughes. Written by John Hughes. Music by John Williams, the Johns. Edited by Roger Gosnell, director of Home Alone 3. Cinematography by Julio Macat. He also cinematogged the first Home Alone and the third. Directed by Chris Columbus. He discovered Holmes. Macaulay Culkin, Joe Pesci, Daniel Stern, Catherine O'Hara, John Hurd, Devin Rattray, Hilary Wolf, Michael C. Morona, Gary Badman, Kieran Culkin, Tim Curry, Brenda Fricker, Eddie Bracken, Rob Schneider, Dana Ivey, and Ali Sheedy is in here for a bit. Just like any major success of a film, it is known that the production company is going to want to recreate the success of the first all over again. Home Alone 2 is no different, even going as far as rushing production, just like all those other productions. On top of John Hughes' 6-picture deal with Fox, Home Alone 2 was more or less mandated for Hughes. Macaulay Culkin's dad and manager had signed Macaulay on for the film The Good Son, but once Home Alone was the success that it was, when the second one was announced and offered to the actor, The Good Son was put on hold, so Macaulay could film the sequel and earn $4.5 million instead of his $110,000 that he did on the first one.
45 times.
Yeah,
that's a good pay increase.
A little bit of a raise.
I just like they had the power of just like that movie. you're going to stop doing what you're doing for right now because we got to do this.
Well, this doesn't, as we saw in our watch party, this movie doesn't happen, nor does not make as much money without Macaulay Culkin.
Oh yeah, I mean, like it's
true.
another reason why they wanted to rush it, because he was like, kids like that, especially on screen, they just age so fast because these things take so long to get together. The film brought back most of the crew and cast from the first film, and of course for higher fees and royalties. But the cast and crew love working for director Chris Columbus and writer John Hughes. Principal photography began on December 9th, 1991, and it's shot mostly in and around Chicago and, of course, New York City. New York was freezing cold around this time and caused a lot of the cameras to seize up and stop working for a period of time, causing some of the production to be delayed. The film focuses way more on the Buster Keaton type pratfalls for the characters of Harry and Marv, the first one, and this time around it was Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern doing a lot of the stunts their own, causing the actors to come away with multiple bruises and some stunt pay. During the end of the Sticky Bandits scene, in which the pair are surrounded by pigeons, that was real and happened pretty much how it does in the movie, covering them with bird seeds. Daniel Stern, while doing his famous scream, had a pigeon go entirely into his mouth, making the actor gag and say, well, that's the last time we do that.
That's disgusting.
Production wrapped May 1st, 1992. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, was released on November 20th, 1992, and on a budget of $28 million, the film made $359 million at the box office, proving the strength of the first film once again, and cementing Macaulay Culkin as one of the biggest actors of the 90s. The film garnered 4 more less successful sequels, including Home Alone 3, which, if you were a $5 Patreon member, you could have watched with us. Just saying. You'll have another opportunity if you sign up. Thank you. Goodbye.
Well, thanks, Sean. We got to go to AJ. We got to get his research that he talks about for all the critics, the fans. What were their ratings? What were their reviews? What were they thinking?
Yeah.
What do you got, AJ?
What are they thinking?
Smell that, Muff? You know what that smell is?
Poop.
The tomato meter! No, it's fish. 35%. Splarked.
That's a big splart, man. The original was a 66, to let you know that. Yeah. So it has come down, and of all the movies we've done, tied with Event Horizon.
Got to.
Yep.
Tied with Event Horizon.
Yep.
Okay.
Event Horizon.
Event Horizon. You want Horizon with that? 6 point. Sorry, this is stupid. 62% from the esteemed popcorn meter. 62% matching up to a 6.9. Nice. On IMDb.
The original was a 7.7. 6.9 ties it with Scrooged. How about that?
Hey. Okay.
Yeah.
Scrooged.
That is another Christmas movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we did an episode on that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Go check that out.
We did Scrooged.
Go
Yeah.
check that out.
You're right. How about this, guys? 50 out of 100 from the old Roger Ebert. Raj Ebe. Chicago Sun-Times. I didn't much like the first film, much like this one, with its sadistic little hero who mercilessly hammers a couple of slow-learning crooks. Thanks.
All right, Raj.
Somebody liked it even less. Austin Chronicle gave this a 0.
0.
A 0 out of anything still equates to the same amount of 0.
Why can esteemed film critics give a 0, but not IMDb patrons?
You got to earn that right from
I guess so.
from
It's
critics
absolutely
school.
true.
I guess so.
Yep, you have to graduate from the school of criticisms.
Gotcha.
New York, yeah. Austin Chronicle, nobody actually listed. No one wants to claim this review. The John Hughes script must have taken him all of 30 minutes to write. Simply a matter of a few names and location changes. It wasn't a good script the first time either.
Okay.
That's about it.
No irredeemable quality in this
There was
movie.
nothing worth watching. Nope.
Not at all. And Variety, they were one of the higher ones that gave it a 60 out of 100. The studio simply remade the first movie, only with bigger pratfalls.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they did.
Wonder what we can compare this to. Probably the first one. Wonder what a good litmus test would be. Okay. So how about 1 out of 10 then? If everybody hates this movie, let's continue that trend. How much money does this family have? That's Prine 012478-1. Whatever.
Love him.
Watching this movie now with my own children, now I am disappointed that this was entertaining. I'm not going to read that sentence again for you. You're just going to have to rewind and try to make sense of it. The parents are neglectful and insensitive to their children. You're right. Going right along with that, another 1 out of 10. This is Branchode 88. Kevin gets blamed for everything, is what this is entitled. This movie is so fake.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Movie? Fiction? Nobody in Kevin's family sees Kevin's older brother Buzz set him up to get in trouble, and Kevin's mom just blames him and has no sympathy for her son. I'm starting to believe Kevin is an accident, and they didn't go through with the procedure before she gave birth because of their religious views. That's getting deep.
I mean, you got a point.
And family views, but the way the movie makes this kind of abuse seem commonplace and expected. Must be a sign of the times.
What's the world coming to? You know? Damn.
I'm the same age as the actor who played Kevin, and I'm convinced my generation is wasted and everyone born after 1990 is totally shot out from growing up in absolute luxury. What?
I had it harder than anybody else. No one can take that from me.
I know what he's going through. He got blamed for something. It's like, I get where you're coming from, man, but just chill, all right?
I didn't shit my own pants.
Yeah. Let's do a 10 out of 10 from Blake, 2003. This is a great continuation, he said. Warning, spoilers. Now, this is just as funny as the first. We have the same old hero who's still played by Macaulay Culkin during his youth, and his family still played by most of the same people from the first. I love the story of Kevin taking the wrong flight to New York City when his family took a vacation to Florida.
Spoilers!
Spoilers! Why'd you got to give that away, dude? God, I didn't know. I want to know where he's going to end up.
Wait, he's not home?
Wait, he gets lost in New York?
That's not home.
Spoilers!
New York alone, too.
The title's spoiling the movie again. I'm not even going to watch it. Kevin, Marv, and Harry were still talented, just like the first movies, and the Bobby traps were just as funny as the first. Like when Marv gets electrocuted and turns into a skeleton, and Harry gets his head on fire once more.
Yeah.
The pigeon lady was even just as nice as Old Man Marley was in the first movie, helping Kevin out.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I even like the ending where Kevin gets busted by his dad when he yells out, Kevin, you spent $960 on room service?
Yeah, I remember
to
that.
him, you know?
Yeah.
And where he hugs his mom while reuniting.
No, yeah, we saw it.
That was hilarious.
Go and watch it today.
We saw it. Yeah.
2 out of 2 people found that helpful.
Well,
So I just want you
They
guys
felt sorry for that person.
straight.
Pretty sure.
Guys, Little Lebowski Urban Achievers is a wonderful group that you can join today on our Patreon. It's an exclusive Discord channel that you get to jump in. You can give us your 2 cents. You can jump in on our segments. You can do all this fun stuff with us. And just so happens that Mr. Michael Guiliano had more to say from his executive producer,
They're
which I
actually
love.
doing our job in here, too. Did you notice some of the things they're putting in there? Yeah, this is great.
Oh yeah, like this is super helpful, guys. But Mike is saying, watching this for the review and had to stop because I'm cry laughing because I realized that my
That's
uncle
amazing.
at his wedding in the 90s picked out the exact same tuxedos that Tim Curry is wearing in the movie.
oh man,
says-
great.
And there's photos.
And then there's
Tim Curry and his uncle.
There's an additional photo, and the only thing missing, guys, is the key badges, lapel pins.
Yep. Oh, man.
Got my grandpa's mascot next to my bed. It caught me so off guard. I had to take a break for a few minutes. He did help me out with some wonderful math that you guys know I love to do. And he does have a prop in here that we will certainly shout out. He said, "Screw my review. I want this one." So we'll give you some good credit when it comes around, sir.
All right, boys. It is Christmas Day right now around the world. Millions of people are waking up, doing the presents thing, hanging out with family, but the Christmas spirit is fading fast. It always does on Christmas Day. It builds up and it just goes, wow. Yes. The gifts you bought weren't received well. You forgot to get the right batteries for your kid's toy. The in-laws have been over for way too long and are starting to annoy you. You drank all your Cedar Ridge whiskey last night and the stores aren't even open today.
Damn.
Some people they're staying at hotels right now and they're getting their $967 room service bill under their door right now. Some of them might even be on the road already driving endless miles to get home. Tensions are rising. It is our job to give them a full-blown, modern-day, scene-by-scene review of Home Alone 2 to keep their Christmas spirits high.
Let's do that.
Crowbars up. Woo! Pwing! Here we go. So scene 1, the McAllister family is preparing to spend Christmas in Miami, and the house is wild with activity. At a school pageant that night, Buzz pulls a prank on Kevin, which abruptly halts the play. The family seems to blame Kevin, which sours the evening. After oversleeping again, the family rushes to the airport. While running to the gate, Kevin loses sight of his family and inadvertently boards a flight to New York City. Arriving there, Kevin decides to tour the city.
Yeah.
So first of all, this is why I love this, guys. This is why I love doing. I've seen this movie a million times, but when you're doing it like we do and you're sitting on the couch and you got your pad of paper, you're ready, you look for stuff you don't normally see.
Yeah.
Why did Uncle Frank arrive to the house that he's going to stay at for the night before they get on a plane? And why did he bring his golf clubs inside and lose clubs and balls while he was inside for the one day? At the very beginning, he's running around with a golf club set going, has anybody seen my golf balls? What a piece of shit.
This guy needs to go.
Frank is...
He needs to go, man.
He's one of the most... and he's not the most punchable face, surprisingly.
No, I got one too, yeah.
I
think we already punched him.
I think I have a pretty deep cut.
I think
for this one.
No. Well, yeah, I do too.
Okay.
I think we got the same one.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I can't wait.
So not yet.
Not yet. We're not punching him yet. Not there. Frank sucks. And here's why. Because Frank is the man, let's talk cheapskate, which is maybe the most vindicated moment for Kevin is when he literally stands there and he says, "Oh, sorry, wouldn't want to ruin your vacation, Mr. Cheapskate." Like,
he got him.
Got him real good.
Nailed him in front of everyone. Boy, that he just humiliated you in front of your kids. All right, you're nailed. But the fact
Fuller's like, Dad, is he
Wait,
being serious?
not.
I thought we had money, Dad.
I thought we had money.
It's like, that's why we have money, kid.
I make you put water in your cereal.
Yeah.
Actually, there is
to dilute.
There is a theory that proves how much of a cheapskate he is. Fuller is wearing the same jacket that Kevin wore in the first one, which shows that it's all hand-me-downs to Uncle Frank's family.
Oh,
so
God.
he is definitely a cheapskate.
Oh.
And just like, I'm sure he just didn't ask. He just took it.
He just went,
Yeah, he's just like, oh, I'm sure Kevin's grown out of this, or at least he will be soon. And Fuller doesn't. He's not developing. He's a late bloomer, anyways. We're stunting him on purpose so we don't have to spend more money.
Dude, there's also, I also read something that in the first one, Kevin says, I knew a kid who got like creamed for wearing dinosaur pajamas.
Yes.
Fuller's wearing dinosaur pajamas at the end of the movie.
The end of the movie, he wakes up in that big bed by himself.
Poor Fuller, man.
Old Fuller, yeah. I think how many times he's probably wet those pajamas,
Oh,
man.
God.
Rubber sheets.
Oh yeah, right. Easy on the soda, kid. Rubber sheets are packed. He's such a cheapskate that he doesn't even shower in his own home. He doesn't even run up his own shower bill. He's showering at their house. Like, who else is showering?
Not to defend him, but I will say with the golf club thing, that house is fucking gigantic. And there's so many people in there with all of their stuff. You know what I mean? He probably put it in a room and was like, I forgot that room even existed.
Yeah.
So they're gone. You know what I mean?
It's probably true.
But Uncle Frank's, he sucks. He's a
does.
cheapskate. He's making penis size comment jokes to little kids.
Yeah.
Then he's leaving the door open to the bathroom while he showers.
Yeah.
He's laughing and falling asleep during the Christmas pageant. He's a freeloader. He's obviously never paying for pizzas or trips. Nope. This is actually what's crazy. He got this free trip, but it's pretty much a conclusion that he picked where they went, because they go to that hotel in Miami and he's like, wasn't this bad on my honeymoon?
Yeah.
Like, that means he not only got it for free, but said, we're going there. I picked the place.
He had a heavy say in where they were going to go. Like, he wanted to, like, rekindle something for his wife, but wasn't going to pay for it.
No.
And by the way, we will always come back to this. It just never fails during the holiday time. What does Kevin's dad do to afford a house and vacation to France and Florida for 14 people? Guys, we debunked this in number 1. Go back. It turns out in the first one, it was actually probably Uncle Rob who was paying for that trip to France, because that's where Uncle Rob was staying at that time.
Yes.
And then now it turns out that this one is Kevin's dad.
Yes, thank you.
We're
getting so much hate on that mob theory, but it's like they take turns paying for trips.
Yeah.
They're all in the mob.
Yeah.
Grow up.
They got to circulate it somehow. They can't just all have only Rob.
Yeah, he can't launder all the money.
Right.
They have to take turns laundering money.
Correct.
Here.
Yeah.
Jesus,
and Frank
people.
never does his fair share of laundering.
Frank's just the guy that brings them sandwiches.
He does his laundering at the McAllister.
Yeah, he's Rocco. He's the funny man, and now he's not even funny.
Is this a thing though? Why what's Peter McAllister? That's his name.
Peter McAllister
Is he such a mobster that people don't want to call him out on anything? Because I didn't care. This was fine when I was a kid, but the fact that he unplugs his clock and it resets the alarm. Does no one else in the house have an alarm set?
Right.
Are we all just scared of Peter McAllister that we'll let him wake us up?
Yeah.
None of us are going to get up until Peter gets up in the house.
Goes right back to Frank, who says going out the door, I don't want to complain about a free trip, but you guys give the worst wake up calls. Why did you set your own clock?
Just wake up.
You're an adult and your entire family is there. You're the one responsible for getting them going.
Is Frank on Catherine O'Hara's side?
It is. I actually just
They're
saw this.
sisters.
No, Frank is Peter's brother.
No.
And Frank, Peter, and Rob are brothers.
Huh.
And that is the family tree that I saw in a breakdown, and it also broke down whose kids were whose.
Because that would make him even more of a piece of shit. Is that he married into it?
Oh,
but not
God,
in a direct way, tangentially.
Yes.
He's cheapskating a mobster
On purpose.
Yeah.
Nope, fucking Frank.
I mean,
dude.
I want that movie, the
Which
McAllister brothers.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I want that really bad.
Yeah.
Maybe after we write our Hallmark movie and it's a success, maybe we could write that one.
I like that.
Maybe we could sit down and have a good time and write that one.
I think we could
Make an episode out of it. Have a few laughs.
Have a few laughs.
Music just gets me right back in. Obviously, it's just fucking incredible. We said it in the first movie, but it just seems like it's in your veins. It seems like these are Christmas songs.
They're not Christmas songs, but they are.
They are, and I put them on my Christmas playlist.
Yes,
and people are like, "Oh, I like this song." Like, what? Who actually did? I'm like, "This is from Home Alone." Like, no shit. I'm like, yeah, it's just that much it's so embedded into your soul
and
that it's just so catchy.
And in fact, even more of a reason Uncle Frank's a piece of shit. The only song in this entire movie that's not a Christmas song is him in the shower. Singing a song. Jerk off.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
That's what he's in there doing. He's just plastering his brother's shower.
The curtain. The see-through curtain.
He's running up all the hot water. He's
hoping somebody's gonna walk
spraying the
in,
whole thing.
Never feel like a real man.
He is such a weird dude, man.
We have to talk about, and I think we can kind of transition this into the pageant scene.
That's where we're at. Let's do it.
Well, let's precursor that with how shitty they do treat Kevin. And how much he doesn't exist in their mind, really. And
it's 100% true.
Yeah, it is, and it's stone cold fact, because his mom says, What is it with you and Christmas trees? Oh, you mean around Christmas?
Huh. Super
Oh,
weird.
I'm sorry that like tradition is cool with a little kid now, and like I'm smart enough to realize that there are traditions
Yeah.
and want that for us.
Hey, 10-year-old kid who probably just enjoys the magic of the holiday season because he's
Weird.
the youngest of 5 children and probably just gets crapped on the entire time. And then finally during Christmas, you actually might have some freaking fun.
Is this a metaphor for
He's
me and Sean?
projecting.
Yeah, he
I'm
is, yeah.
not projecting. But then you're just like, it's like the one time it's like, what is it with you and Christmas trees? Like you said, Sean, around fucking
What are you
Christmas.
talking
It's
about?
like a 10-year-old kid in the
What kind of
summer.
question is that?
What's with you in swimming pool?
Are you kidding me?
What's with you in like going outside with your friends and riding bikes?
Mike, you like Halloween. What is it with you and jack-o'-lanterns?
Hey,
What is it with you in like just going to like a haunted house? Ugh.
oh man,
Insufferable.
we live. It's like, oh, summer's coming around in Chicago. Awesome. Can't wait. Yeah, but we're going to Alaska. It's like, there's no swimming. We're not being able to swim. It's like, what is it with you in swimming pool? It's just seasonal.
I'm a kid.
Yeah, well, not anymore.
I'm a child. And so, but
Actually, that brings up. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, but at the pageant, I was just gonna move on.
Oh,
to
no,
at
come
the
on, let's go.
pageant, we are sitting there and we're watching Buzz just be a complete turd. And you're gonna do, yeah.
No, you keep going. I was waiting for you to point at me. I thought you were going to.
And standing behind Kevin, go ahead.
Here's a prop. Oh, that's prop. Sorry.
If we were on a train to go punch a face, I'm on board.
Tell me we got the same one.
We do. I think we do. I'm gonna give you
There's
my
two
runner.
in this scene. Okay, yes.
I have a runner-up, and it's not in this scene.
Oh,
though.
fuck.
It's not in this scene.
I thought you were pulling something out of your pocket just then. You're just like,
Here's the
no,
thing,
I
guys.
have a picture of him. He's keep him in my wallet.
No, glasses kid behind Kevin. Is that the one?
next singer?
The next singer.
So he was my honorable mention.
Okay,
Punch,
okay.
Because he's just like waiting for his solo.
Yeah.
And he's like, Christmas tree, my Christmas tree.
Miss G.
He doesn't care at all. He's like, Buzz, stop it. I'm next. Like, let's go.
He's getting distracted. He's like, yeah. He's like forgetting the lyrics.
He's my honorable, but if you pay attention next time, there's like a 29-year-old dude standing next to Buzz on the other side, just going, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
I'm in a movie.
It's so funny.
If you focus on him, you'll see nothing else in this scene because he's old and just going, oh, fuck cool, dude. Buzz is so cool, man.
Buzz is so cool.
I play drums too, and that's a pretty good, yeah.
We hang out sometimes.
That's my
At
punchable.
school, not outside.
I didn't
school.
have one. I didn't notice him,
didn't
but
have one?
I'm with you guys. I trust your judgment on this.
Do you want to tell your honorable, or you wait for it later?
I might as well do it now. Honorable is the butler who's serving him ice cream.
Oh.
And I'll tell you why, is because he's serving him that ice cream, and Kevin makes an awesome joke. He's like, two scoops, sir? He said, 2. He's like, I'm not driving, make it 3. That's funny.
That's a funny
funny.
joke.
For a 10-year-old to say that? And he's just like,
Especially one that's going to pay you 30% gratuity.
Yes.
We will break that down later. You're getting 30% gratuity for
Yeah.
your time spent here.
yep.
Laugh at his damn joke.
Yeah, just to entertain the kid for the 5 minutes that you're there. And then you just leave, by the way.
And that's not like you go to the gas station and like, say like, how's it hanging or something.
No.
Or like, bullshit with whatever. Those are like dad kind of things where you're just like, oh, God. That was a clever joke.
It was a clever joke. He could have said,
He's a kid.
good one, Mr. McAllister.
Yeah.
More sprinkles?
That's my other one. That's
Okay.
my other
Well.
punchable face.
I like that.
So,
How can anyone see what Buzz is doing and that whole entire audience?
How
like,
can they not see it?
No, how can they see it? Just like it's a huge auditorium.
Oh, I see what you're
There's
saying.
small little lights behind his ears, and like everything else he does, everyone's laughing.
Yeah.
This isn't fucking funny
it's
at
not
all.
even
No.
funny.
Like you're saying, his joke is clever.
Yeah.
This isn't even clever.
Yeah.
This is just what's he doing?
And it's literally like, and by the way, like people are laughing. They're literally embarrassing this kid in front of an entire auditorium and all of his like peers, and then like doing the drumming thing. And he has a reaction to it and is like, to his brother, who's being a dick.
Yes.
Pushes him. It's Buzz's fault everybody else fell over, as
It
far as I'm
is.
concerned. It has nothing to do with, like, it's like totally justified.
That's an interesting point. I've never once thought that nobody could see it. In real life, nobody can, like, picture what's going on up there.
No.
But
Yeah.
but the movie is implying that everybody sees what's
Everybody
It's
going
like,
on.
wants
holy
to see this.
shit, look at that. Like, I get that this is boring,
Yeah.
probably to a lot of
Sucks.
people,
Frank's
but
sleeping.
this is actually the worst. But that's just not, it wouldn't even be like, I'd just be like, what the fuck is that guy doing?
I would-
get that shit, get that motherfucker out of here.
Everyone else, like, sitting not in the first 3 rows is like,
Yeah.
what's it? Why is he?
Is that part of the show?
Why is he
everyone
waving
laughing?
those things
It's not
around?
funny, but I guess we'll laugh.
Why
The
is he
front
wa-
row's laughing, I guess.
Is he in distress? Like what?
Dude, they treat him like shit.
They yeah.
Two movies running now. It's fucking crazy. Like, if they lost their job somehow, they would blame Kevin.
Yeah, yeah.
It would be Kevin's fault.
I made a list of stuff in this movie of why these parents suck.
Okay.
They're first of all believing Buzz's apology here
Oh,
and
yeah.
blaming Kevin.
Yeah.
They saw it with their own eyes. They were appalled at what Buzz was doing to them. And then they're like, yeah, it's fine. It was Kevin's fault. Handing plane tickets to kids to hold on to? What are we doing here, guys?
We're trying to teach them responsibility.
No.
No, you aren't.
You hang on to all of them. Did they plan this trip last minute? Because they're saying like traveling this time of year, we're lucky to sit together. Luckily, you even get on the same plane.
lucky to be on
Did
the
we
same
just
plane.
plan this trip?
Yeah.
This is your fault. Giving him all the cash and your bag full of stuff while you're rushing through an airport instead of being like, Kevin, wait 5 minutes
Yeah.
and we'll get on the plane. I swear. You stand there, you make sure everybody gets on the plane. You don't. What's the difference between you standing there and the rest of the family running down the jetway versus all of you guys going down the jetway? What changes there?
I
If
agree
you
with you
are-
on all points. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say 100%.
One more. They got off.
Go.
They got all the way on the plane, off the plane, and 2 baggage claim before realizing he wasn't there.
Yes, this
These guys suck.
you have 4 parents in this.
3.
Like you're 3. You're right. 3 potentially responsible adults. And that means you've got a leader and you have you've got the duck trail, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
All the kids are in the middle, and you have somebody at the end, a grown up at the end, who makes sure that everyone made it on there. Are you kidding? You don't go on. If I ran onto the jetway ahead of my wife and son, I would hope somebody would punch me in the face.
Dude, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Like, because we know how airports work. Like, the gate person is the one that goes all the way down the jetway and says, we got everybody, or
Yeah.
we're missing a couple people, and then they shut the door, and then they come down and shut the main door, and the thing pulls away.
Yeah.
And you're locked in.
Yeah. At that point,
Like-
it's big money fines if and blacklisting if you decide that door needs to be opened. again.
Yes.
I agree on all your points, and like I'm gonna add one, and perhaps the most important. Don't fucking travel for the holidays. You obviously can't handle it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just you've done this. You did
can't
this
handle
last
it.
year. You ruined it all.
Yeah.
You know.
And
And this is 1 year later, right? Even though it's
gotta be.
2 calendar years, they're saying it's 1
they
year
say
later,
it's
right?
last
Okay,
year that this
gotcha.
happened. Knock on wood, that kind of thing. And it is. It makes me think back to number 1 when they literally went on a Chicago to France, and not one person on there was like, "Oh, we should like go find each other when we could get up."
Not one
Same
person.
thing here.
This is pre-cell phones. There's nothing to do on a plane. There's not
nothing.
screens. There's nothing.
No. Did you
You
see-
already read the booklet in the back of your seat cover. You're gonna walk around.
Yeah. Did you see the big screen, the big TV screen
was
for
like-
Coach at the front of
There
like
was
the
one
Coach section? It's
screen.
the big screen that there's one movie that's gonna play in flight and shit.
And there's no headphones.
And it's starring Kevin Hart. You know it is. You know it is.
Even back then.
It's the safest bet.
He was there, dude. He was there. Dude, but like I will tell you this. I remember after watching the first one and them going, we're making a second one. I was like, you can't make you already did it. You already left him at home. How are we gonna do this? Even with the title Lost in New York, I'm like, how are they gonna do it? And it's still pretty great how they make this happen.
Yeah,
I agree.
How they trick you into thinking that he's gone, but no, he's there. He's on the plane. the dad that looks like him joke. Even
some reason pisses me off when he's running. I
Does
don't
it?
like the back of
That guy?
John Hurt's head or
that
his
guy's
stunt
head.
man. Pretty much,
they're wearing the same coat. I get it.
I don't like it.
They're wearing the same like.
You don't
hair-
have to like the guys,
Definitely.
but you like the idea of it.
Oh, I love John Hurt. I just don't like the shot
Yeah.
of just like
It's
It's very fake.
very straight head.
Yeah.
Like he's practicing his posture while running.
posture
Yes.
shuffle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even the act of then him getting on the plane, having the guy next to him start to annoy him so that he puts on headphones
Yeah.
when they say this is where we're flying to. Those are really great. Like, that's great writing.
They're all really good at doing that. I think the first one, like, I buy it wholeheartedly in the first one. Like we said, where something gets spilled and his ticket gets thrown away accidentally.
Everybody saw that.
Never, yeah, exactly.
Duh.
I never
Everyone
noticed
noticed
that.
that.
I never
What?
noticed that until that watch. I know we said that and we all agree, but yeah, this one does it less in a way, but I
Yeah.
still buy it. And also, I don't care what happens.
No.
I just want to see him fuck around in New York.
and they do it very well still with like an exposition style.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier when they're it's like, how come we're not all sitting together? It's like this time of year we're lucky if we even get on the same plane. She's handing out tickets. Great, done, over. If you caught it, you caught it. If you didn't, whatever.
cares?
You probably don't care if you didn't catch it. Like, so all those little things, and you're right, just those little perfect timing writing moments of putting on the headphones right as she announces where they're going, how he sees the guy run in who looks like his dad, who you're right, there's something about their head.
Thank you.
It is. It's, and I think, you know what?
I think it's his hair.
I think it's the hair and the jacket.
It's like square looking.
Yeah.
At it.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like somebody went by with a comb, like on grass, to just get anything hanging out.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
needs to be perfect.
Yeah.
Right. And like he watches that happen, the tickets go flying. It's like this plane can't leave. He has a great story
Terrible
to tell.
security.
It's, I know, right?
We don't,
All right.
That'll never happen again.
He's just like, how exhausted are these people that this guy just comes on and is like, well, we got to close. It's like, all right, board him, but make sure he sees somebody first. It's just, you're right, laziest security
Find
ever.
any seat
Yeah.
that you want. Find any seat.
Okay,
Because we are a full flight, but just find a seat.
Go find hey, okay, there's my dad right there.
Merry
Okay,
Christmas.
go find an empty seat.
Sitting next to the French guy who's trying to tell you his life story, which I'm sure is maybe perhaps more interesting than a retread of the first film.
I did end up reading.
I have it.
Do you have it? Okay,
I have
cool.
the exact translation of what he
great.
said. He said, "What's that? I'm from France and I'm a tourist here. It's my first time coming to America. Do you know a good restaurant in America?
Yeah.
Or maybe your parents, they know a good place. Why aren't you responding? You speak a bit of French, right? I don't speak English at all. Give me at least a little bit of help. My name is Andre. What's your name?"
Yeah.
That's what he says the entire time.
It's so good. It's so good. Yeah. The moment of him getting into New York is also great. We can go on to number two.
Well, let's talk about the montage. Like,
Okay.
this is the end of scene one. The Christmas New York montage gets me every time.
Oh, it looks fantastic. One, Ali Sheedy.
the idea
Praise
that
be.
yeah,
Sir.
like that's
New York. Sir.
Yes, sir. That's New York, sir.
Problem, sir?
Something wrong, sir?
But
Even
yes.
that song. What is that song? It's like a New York Christmas song or something.
Yeah,
that's playing in the
I was
background.
thinking it was. I'm sure it's Springsteen when it started playing, but it's not this. It's
Yeah.
not him singing for sure.
It is. I can't remember the lyrics. But regardless, the montage of him going over the bridge and into town, and he's so excited about this prospect. We have to keep in mind again, guys. I know we're rehashing this. He was able to get a taxi himself.
Yes.
This is insane. In New York.
Christmas All Over Again? That Tom
Christmas
Petty
All
song?
Maybe. He's still working in the
doesn't-
90s.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah. Christmas all over. Whatever.
Again.
Yeah.
Twin Towers.
Man, do you know what? Did you know they removed that from like TV broadcasts
That's
for about
right.
15 years? And I don't like that. They put it back in, but it was out of respect for 9/11 and stuff. But like, I like seeing it.
It's almost like sorry that we're even talking
Correct,
about it.
correct.
Like whatever, it's a whatever thing, but it is still shocking to see them
Every time.
Even that, like especially that Macaulay Culkin, a little boy, is on top of one of them fuckers.
Yeah.
those things are like marvels.
Intimidating.
Especially that like helicopter shot. I'm like, damn, those buildings are fucking big.
Yeah, you see him go up to it, take the Polaroid,
And then he's on top, baby.
Then he's on top of it, and that whole shot is just—it's kind of breathtaking.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Every time I go,
Yeah.
every time I see that,
And
I want to feel that.
And I mean, like, I think it's a great shot
Yes.
because he is such a little speck on just like these gigantic buildings, and
That
like
aren't there
he is
anymore.
he is lost in New York, no matter where he goes.
Yeah, even though he thinks he's not, he is.
Yeah.
It's like the moment he's in that city, he's lost.
He's lost.
Even though he knows he wants to go to Plaza. But I do think it was until about 2016, something like that they finally put it back in. And it's just like, how are you going to have him in New York and not have those there? That would be so strange. Yeah.
I love that in almost every movie we do that those are there.
Oh,
that
yeah.
are in New York. And that is I want that. I want to teach my daughters someday to be like, okay, see those towers? Like they're not there anymore.
Yeah.
And you'll learn about the story, you know? Like it's a cool thing to have it there.
Absolutely.
It's a memory.
I agree.
All right, scene 2. So Kevin goes to the Plaza Hotel and uses Peter's credit card to check in. Meanwhile, Harry and Marv have traveled to New York after recently escaping from prison in Illinois. Apparently, that's what. And immediately beginning to seeking a new target to build up a fortune. The concierge, Mr. Hector, is curious, and while attempting to enter his room, he's fooled by Kevin. Can we talk about one of the coolest shots of the movie?
Yes.
When he's walking through Central Park, and that, I'm assuming it's like a Paul Revere statue is pointing.
Yeah.
And he's far in the background, and he stops right in front of the finger pointing. I don't know what it was about that shot. He walks past it, it pans backwards behind the statue, and he stops, and the statue's like pointing at Kevin. I don't know. Like I think some of the choices in the first one and this one are just they're great.
There's a
man.
couple shots later that I'll talk about that I really like too. I agree with you. He's shooting the fuck out of this.
Yes,
He's like,
he is.
We're in New York. We're gonna show New York.
And we got money.
Yeah, we got a lot of money.
we got a lot of money.
I can't remember if it was him walking up to the Twin Towers or not, but there's also kind of like a trailing shot of him like at his
Yeah.
feet. That was, again, kind of seems almost a little out of character for the movie, but it's like, man, I'm really glad they did that. You know, it really helps break up a lot of, you know, what they do, how these movies are shot. And I
Yeah.
just really like that a lot. I just love, I mean, the Plaza Hotel and the way he gets into it is maybe the best thing.
Can I break down the wall for our listeners here? Because anybody listening to this and watching this, like you're true blue. We love you. We're gonna all together play a prank on TikTok because TikToks and Instagram, they're stupid. So you're seeing behind the scenes. We're gonna use this clip right now for a TikTok for a reel, and people are gonna be so upset at us, but we're all gonna play along.
Oh yeah,
We're all gonna play along. Okay, we're gonna pretend like this is real. Okay, ready?
rope us in this.
All right, so like there's a ton of cameos in this movie, but one, like, I couldn't believe it. It's one of those things where like you watch it 100 times and you never notice it.
Oh yeah.
And then when you finally notice it, you're like, I can't believe that person was in this movie, and I never knew about it. So Kevin, he's in New York. He did the thing. He went all around, went up on the World Trade.
Yeah, we saw everything.
Yep,
yeah.
and then he goes
Yeah.
to the Plaza Hotel. You know, Plaza Hotel. He's got his talk boy.
Yeah.
He goes in the lobby, and he walks past a man, kind of like asking where the check-in booth
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
The guy turns around. It's Donald Trump.
What?
Wait.
Yeah. No, Donald Trump is in Home Alone 2. He turns around and like points, and then he like turns around again and turns back. It's like, oh, that little kid. Like, dude, it's
The guy who
you know what I'm
says-
talking about?
Yeah.
The guy who says or for the lobby or whatever.
Yeah,
That's Donald Trump.
that's President Trump.
Well, he's
Whoa,
really
dude,
coming up
I
in the world
didn't
of
see
stuff.
Apparently,
that.
yeah, dude. Apparently, like at the time of filming this, he owned this hotel, and so
Well,
he
he
was-
did, yeah, he was in the hotel
Yeah,
business.
he did a lot of hotel stuff.
Yeah.
Right,
dude,
right.
Yeah.
yeah. And so I guess he's like, yeah, you can do it, but like I need a cameo, and that's just freaking awesome.
Wow.
That's
I've
insane,
never
man.
noticed that.
I know.
I've watched this movie a billion times. I've never.
That's what I'm
noticed that.
saying. So like, we'll make a TikTok out of this or something because people need to know.
Oh, people need to
Like
know.
I have to
People
go
need
back.
to know.
I'm gonna have to go back and like slow it down or something, just to like make sure
it's
I
quick.
see it.
Like
It's fast.
It's really fast.
Man, that's crazy,
Yeah.
dude. Oh my gosh.
Wow, good find, dude.
Yeah, dude.
scene.
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you check
I
out
thought
our
you were
TikTok.
gonna
and
go way
Reels.
worse than that.
I don't know.
No, that was
don't know.
great. I didn't know that was where it was going.
Well, you got to. Where was I going to go on that?
I don't know. I don't know.
I want you to go there now.
No, please. No, and like him coming into this place and like finding it all, and yes, like the Donald Trump thing. Every time it's not. I'm not saying it's like a painful cameo or anything. But it's like he did in fact say,
Yeah.
he's like he wants to have a line or something, and they ended up leaving it in. I think he might have had a little bit more too or something, but they just left this part in.
I'll tell you what. Take politics out of it. Because we do. I
don't care.
I love it.
Do you?
I've always loved that he was in this.
Yeah,
I've just.
It's just funny.
Funny.
It's just funny.
It's so
Whatever.
funny to me.
it's just funny.
It doesn't matter if you like him or not. Like, it's hilarious that. Think of the old Donald Trump being like, "Yeah, put me in that movie."
Well, then you
Like,
read the
it's funny.
context of it, like you were describing, AJ. He's like, he wanted a line.
Yes.
He's like, you can use my hotel as long as I'm in the movie. He's like, of course, that's what he said.
They also
I would have done it.
Wait, I mean, I don't know.
It's Home Alone 2, dude. Put me in the
It's
movie.
Macaulay Culkin.
They also took a moment, like there was a point, and it's later on when he's kind of escaping, and in order to do some of the scenes, they had to pull out some of the rugs and remove some of the rugs and carpet. And then it came back around that after this is all done, the shots were finished. Donald Trump actually liked it so much, he was like, let's leave it this way.
Good call.
Really?
I like that.
Good call.
You know what? I came up with that idea, actually.
He's like, I had a great idea during, like, no, he would probably say it like, I had a great idea to leave it that way. And that's what it would come down to, right? So, dude.
Rob Schneider
Rob
is
Schneider.
a bellboy. Rated PG-13.
There's something about like
PG-13.
late 90s Rob Schneider hair.
Dude.
What's going on here? I don't like, and what's going on here in a cool way?
Yeah.
Because I'm just like,
You're kind of jealous a little bit?
yeah, look at that fucking fade, dude.
Cedric.
Yeah, he's like,
Don't count your tips.
what is it now? He's dripping skibbity toilet, or he's
dribbity skibbity. Yeah.
dribbity. What's the
Dude's total
he's-
Sigma.
He's rizzing.
Dude's total Sigma.
He's
rizzing
for
right
real.
now?
Yeah.
I bet he's got serious riz.
Yeah, dude.
Like on those different floors, like pulling out the underwear and stuff on that. It's like girls on this floor.
Yeah.
He's just working that riz for Kevin. you
Dude,
know?
AJ,
So,
you're fire.
thanks, bro.
Yeah.
No, that's way too old.
Oh.
That's not
Ew.
even. We don't even say that anymore.
Would you just try to keep it 100?
I'm sure.
high key, dude. You need to keep it 100, okay?
Please? Like, God.
So Rob Schneider,
He's amazing.
but also Tim Curry, right? I mean, I've said it to you before, AJ. I think that I'm gonna say it right here. I was gonna save it till the end, but it's like this movie is just the first movie again, obviously, but with Tim Curry.
With Tim
Because they try to kind of like replace people from the first one with new people in the
Yeah.
second one. You know, Old Man Marley's Pigeon Lady.
Yeah.
There was no Tim Curry in the first one.
Exactly.
No. He is a new element to this movie. And it like the way that they have him played into this, I don't know who else could have done this kind of a performance for
don't know.
Was there? Did
it's
you
his
read?
looks and
There was a few like potential people that they had thought of that I read, and it was like, yeah, that would have been okay,
yeah.
you know. But it's no, like this is Tim Curry, man.
Every time he's on screen, it's the best.
Yes.
Like, this is the best movie ever made. Every time he's on screen, it just is because I don't know, man. Like his presence is. I mean, we've done one other movie, Clue, with him.
I think that's the only other one. This is Rob Schneider's fourth, but I think
okay.
it's only our second Tim Curry.
It's just like, I mean, it is like it makes it that good. Like this movie is amazing because of Tim Curry. It just is, and like the another sequel that's like kind of a retread of another, like TMNT, I guess.
Okay.
You could say that like, yeah, but it's TMNT, but with Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
If you're a big Vanilla Ice fan,
could
whatever,
say that.
whatever. Like, but this movie is Home Alone with Tim Curry. You know what I'm saying? Like, which one do you want? Do you want Home Alone or Home Alone Tim Curry?
You know what? There's a very good chance that that might be why I did like it more,
Potentially.
because I had that presence probably first and foremost. And then if you go back to Home Alone 1, you don't have that Tim Curry kind of a presence or performance.
Yeah.
You're right. It is another layer to this movie that like steps it up.
Yeah, it's another level when he's
Yeah.
when he's here. I mean, like, I will say that like I am missing him as soon as he's gone out of this movie because he only has a few scenes.
He's maybe in five
Yeah.
scenes,
Yeah.
something like that.
And then we do get sort of a retread of like the first one of like the fall gags and everything. But
It's-
I wish they would have come back to this to him a little bit
Yeah.
more. But that's my only gripe is that there's not enough of him.
I really do think a lot of that, just on that note, it's a lot of his facial features and expressions and the way he can deliver some of these lines as that kind of turned up nose accent feeling, you know, calling Cedric and like just
don't cut your tips in public.
pizza.
Dude,
Compliments of the plaza.
Dude, there's no one else who delivers a line
actually,
like that.
I have a theory that he's never said the word pizza. in his
He's never
life.
had to.
That was the first time he actually said
Your
pizza.
limo's here and pizza.
A pizza.
Fuck. Are you kidding me? Like, that's amazing.
Mr. McAllister.
When me and my wife were watching this, I busted up laughing. She's like, "Why are you laughing?" I'm like,
It's
I don't know.
fucking
No one else can
awesome.
say pizza like that.
And-
no one else ever.
Dude,
Pizza.
100%. And like it also goes back to like the moment that they do that with, they interject him with the Grinch.
Oh yeah.
Again, it's just a little bit more cherry on top.
One of the best
of
fades
this
ever.
You
idea.
didn't. You didn't have to do that. We were fine without it, but you did.
You did.
And now the movie's that much better.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't want to skip over the talk back or the talk boy.
Talk boy.
Yeah.
And I mean, we won't even get into the greatest joke in the world that happened on our Home Alone 3,
No.
our Home Alone 3 watch party.
The
And
We're
belt's
gonna-
still over
I
there.
just don't
You're
think
gonna
we're
have to give us $5
Yeah.
to get
we'll
gems
find
like
a way.
that.
Actually, I'll tell you what. If you join our Patreon in the next week, and you join the $5 tier, we'll clip that clip and
Yeah.
we will put it up in Patreon.
Yeah.
because it goes where you think it did.
Oh, yeah.
Because they'll just give you a little hint, like there's a talk boy, and then they made a talk girl.
There's
and
also a talk girl.
The differences between
Yeah.
yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And but one of the things that as a kid you thought, oh, that's probably normal, but then you realize as an adult is kind of hilarious is when he says, "Yes, this is Peter McAllister, the father."
I'd like a large room and one of those mini fridges that
With those little fridges that you have to open with a key. And it's
credit
just,
card.
you got it.
It's like there's no world where a 10-year-old knows exactly what someone on the other line is going to ask them when reserving a hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the funniest thing that like he felt the need that he needs to explain. It's not Peter McAllister, the business. It's the father.
The father.
I didn't even think about that.
He's like it's just the mystique of it. Well,
Yeah.
he must be higher up.
See, he called in and he said he was the father, and that's why
Don't fuck with
his
my son.
Son is going to be there.
Yes.
You know.
I have had sex.
If you didn't know.
I have used my dick
Yes. You
in
see?
a coital way.
And I was like, yes, sir.
It always bothered me as a kid, and I think it still does, why when he goes to the pool, all the old people are staring at him.
Yeah.
And feel like he's just kind of like, what the hell is this kid doing here? It always bothered me when I was a kid.
I agree, but also huggable face in this.
Which one?
The guy, he's like, you mind if I work on my cannonballs? He's just like,
Because he looks like he's going to mind.
yes.
Yeah.
But then he's like, no.
I don't give a shit. Go ahead, man.
You
Seems
remind me
like-
of my grandson, dude.
Like they probably didn't film it, but he held up a sign that said 10. I have to imagine he's the coolest guy in the world.
Oh yeah.
I was watching this with Willa. Again, she's starting to like get into long format stuff.
Okay.
And this scene happens. She goes, ocean. And then I was like, yep, it's the ocean. And then the swim trunks come off and she goes, his pants came off. I was like, I love you.
Yep.
We're having a good time.
Yeah. Cover your eyes.
Yep.
That's the same thing. Like Harrison loves this movie.
Yes. Tell me about this.
He is a huge fan of this movie. Like it's kind of crazy. When we would pull it up on and you see the thumbnail on the TV, he's like, yeah, that one,
No, that one.
that one, yeah. Let's watch this one. You want this one? Yeah. And you're like, okay, cool. And he will watch this all the way through, and he gets and the pool scene is one of the first ones
Yep.
where he's like, jump, jump.
He's remembering it.
The pool and the jump. I was like, yeah, buddy. He's
But
like,
then he watched Angels with Filthy Souls. Do you fast forward through that?
I didn't.
I didn't either.
I said, this
Fuck yeah.
is
Good job,
I said
guys.
fireworks.
yeah.
I said, he's got fireworks, and she's like, don't know what those are, but
Oh, dude.
okay.
It's just so funny. He's like really stoked on these parts while they're coming through.
That's awesome.
And yeah, like I don't know. I think he starts to like disengage a little bit.
Yep.
Though when we do get back to these city shots and even like Kevin walking in front of the like the fish truck, and we see more of like Marv and Harry though. He kind of starts to phase out.
What do we think about them back again? I mean, like they really haven't missed a step in my opinion.
They
Yes,
have
who's
to. They
back?
have to be back.
Yeah.
If they're not back, nope.
It
This
really
is not the movie for me.
It really isn't. I mean, like you could have tried to do like the concierge gang,
Yeah.
but like and Tim Curry would have done a great job. Rob Schneider probably in there too. The other lady, she's fine. But like these, I mean, it's Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern, man. Like it's like especially Daniel Stern. I mean, I'm not taking away from Joe Pesci. I would never, but Daniel Stern is just on another level here. It's incredible.
You don't often get this kind of follow-up performance for these characters for it to be not beating you over the head, or insisting upon the character that they were, or playing the character of the character. You know what I mean? Like just taking it that next level and yucking it up for the camera,
or phoning it in.
or phoning it in.
Like
yeah.
this is
Yeah.
a cash grab.
Yeah.
They got a lot more money than they did for the first one, I imagine. And probably some royalties or whatever that's going to be coming to them.
Yeah.
They did not phone it in whatsoever.
Nope. They took it up in a level.
Yeah.
probably.
It did.
Yeah. In fact, you said they did all their own stunts on this.
Yeah,
one
a
for
lot
the
of
most
them.
part. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
The other end of it too. I just have to. I have a mild fan theory here. It's going one of two ways. These guys somehow, when they got out of jail or wherever they were, they ended up with each other's clothes because Marv's wearing high waters and he's got a jacket that doesn't look like it quite fits, and like he had to like bust the fingers out of his gloves and stuff. And Harry is wearing the largest jacket that he's like Fester in this, and it kind of drives me nuts at points watching them when we see full body shots of them. It's pretty hilarious. It's either that or Harry pulled like some sort of Pinky in the brain and said, "I'm cold in this fish truck. Give me your jacket, Marv." Like that kind of thing. And it just drives me nuts thinking about it. It's like I just want it to be true so bad.
It is. This is the place where we do that.
One of the
There we go,
things
got
that I
stamped.
like most about them is one of the things I like most about like my kind of comedy is the background kind of stuff where you like is they don't pay attention to it much. The filmmaking doesn't anyway, but like Marv, Marv, Daniel Stern is always stealing shit in the background. I fucking love it.
It's just
It's
never
like
ends.
and but like Christopher Columbus will also do like little inserts to make sure you see it, but like really quick.
Yeah.
And they don't talk about it in the script. It's just like I don't know. I love that shit so much, but it just makes me crack up every single time. He just can't stop stealing shit. That's just what he is.
all the tape on his hand the first time. He's like, "Oh, we got our new nickname." He's just all about the street cred. Sticky Bandit.
I think Harry wants to like legitimately steal stuff and make money, make a career. I think Marv just likes to have fun.
He's just
He's just there to have fun. He's like, I am fun.
He is.
Even the subtle things, like it happens later, but when he says, Kevin goes into the park and they lose him and they're like, kids are scared of the park.
Yeah.
Great callback to Kids Are Scared of the Dark
Kids
in the
Scared
first
of the
one.
Dark.
Like that's just funny. That's just funny to me.
Yeah.
Kids
And-
are scared of the park.
And it's he gives the exact same delivery on that.
Same exact delivery.
Yeah. The same cadence, same everything. It's so good.
Ooh,
yeah?
here's a prop.
All right.
It's before we move on to the next one. I want the Bozo inflatable the
Fuck!
clown. I'm sorry, bro. I got the button. If you want to take the button from me, that's fine. But
I
like,
can't take the button from you.
you can have it if you want.
Well,
I'll
my
teach you
prop
which
is
one.
the button.
I think that if that this is a group prop. I want it in the corner. I
mean,
want it blown
obviously.
up in the corner.
Uh-huh.
It's Bozo the clown. They don't
It's gonna
say
be-
Bozo the clown, but when she flips it over earlier, it says Bozo on the package. I was a big Bozo fan, so that's what I want.
I was a huge Bozo fan too.
I just
Grand
don't
prize
know.
game, dude. Find the worst kid in the audience who can't even make bucket number one.
Yeah.
Because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Nobody won that show.
No, nobody won grand prize on that. Bozo might have been the only clown that I was never terrified of.
Duh.
But I
That's
also
cute.
don't know what corner it could go into because I don't want it behind me that I can't see it, but I also don't want it looking at me the entire time.
It'll just sit next to Brian over there.
Okay, yeah, that's fine,
Perfect.
I think. Well, we'll have to test it out. Feng Shui. What are you doing then?
I got one. I'm gonna do. I have a second fucking thing.
Faggot.
The cassette tapes that says "bad guys saying they'll kill me."
Oh, that's
his recording of the Talk Boy. I just love him.
just
Bad
right
guys
here,
saying
just
they'll
on
kill me.
shelf.
Yeah.
Right there.
I've been in a I've been in a major debate. I had like the cash register from Duncan's Toy Chest. But I think I want the Polaroids of Marv and Harry.
That'd be good.
Nice.
That would look good on the wall.
Yeah, I think it would go up there pretty good. Like, because I think by this point, after like a lot of the props you've been doing, Mike, like photos, we hang them on the wall. We have a pretty good wall of fame shame
Yes, we
going,
do.
right?
Yeah.
And so I think that needs to be added to it.
Hell yeah.
So, scene 3. Landing in Miami, the family discovers that Kevin is missing and alerts the authorities. They go to their hotel to wait. Kevin takes a limo around town and goes to Duncan's Toy Chest. When he leaves, he's found by Marv and Harry and chased. Upon returning to the hotel, Mr. Hector tries to catch him after learning that the credit card is stolen. While escaping, he's caught by the Sticky Bandits again, and he learns their plan to rob the toy store tonight. He's able to get away from them.
By the way, the limo driver should have been played by Rick DeCumming.
Oh!
I don't know if he was busy or what the fuck was going on.
Major.
Should have been the same
What year was
character
blank?
from
What year was
Check.
Blank Check? Hold on a second here, real quick. 94. So this would have been like after this debacle in New York. He was
Yeah.
kind of associated with it. He took off. He went to the West Coast. He's like,
Yep.
I don't want cold anymore. I want warm temps.
And the original script had
Yep.
The limo driver have a lot more lines with Kevin.
Was that right?
And so I was like, well, perfect,
Would
because
it-
Rick would have done it.
Yeah, this guy just sucked, and
Yeah.
Rick would have been fine. Rick would have turned into like a sidekick character. all
Even
of a sudden.
I love Pigeon Lady, and I love what she's inspired
Pierce Morgan?
by other.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Isn't that who played Pigeon
yeah,
Lady?
no, I think
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
We'll get to that. But as much as I like Pigeon Lady, that would have been a fun thing as well. Him
Yeah.
befriending
Oh,
the
that's way
limo
better.
driver.
It is so
you know.
it is so funny that you say that because like even I think on like the last time we were watching it, Alicia even asked like, "Is that somebody like you know thinking like is that somebody who like a nice cameo?"
Should that be somebody?
And I'm like, no, it's not, and it's true.
should
It's
be.
it's such a missed opportunity. Like
You
it
take
very
Pigeon
easily could've
Lady
been.
away,
or a
and-
John Candy,
and
again.
it's he was supposed to be in this, wasn't he? But
think
he's like,
so.
no, fuck that. I
Yeah.
made like $40 last time.
I-
You guys can fuck off.
I think he was. It's like the one time in recorded history
That he
where
said-
John Candy was a little bit jaded about.
He would rather drink
Yeah,
at home
Yeah.
instead.
he would. Yeah,
Here's your new rewrite. It's Rick
Rewrite.
DeCumming is the and they become friends.
Great.
And Rick DeCumming talks about how he's always wanted to move out to the West Coast and try to make it in Hollywood. And Kevin's like, you really should. You should just go. And that's the friendship. And then he goes.
Yes.
And then nothing happens. So then he befriends another stupid ass kid. What's his name? McIntosh?
Preston.
Preston.
Yeah.
Preston Waters.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that doesn't turn
And
out
he
well.
eventually gets Shay because we all
Yeah,
want
he,
him. with
he
Shay.
dates Shay.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Correct.
correct. Yeah.
Yep, that's right. That's right. She's notorious for this behavior.
But she kind of falls out too and
Yeah.
becomes a crook later
Well,
on.
then she then moves to Chicago and starts dating Kevin.
Yeah.
Right.
Because she loves. Okay.
And then after being on the run for a long time, and then after this whole New York, she's like, I have to go further north, and she ends up,
Yep.
she
Goes back out to the
goes
West.
back out to the West Coast, and she's embedded in her life of crime at this point.
Yeah.
With
Shay.
somebody that also
with
was,
mental.
with some mental who was also a part
The
of
Elsa?
the Lufthansa heist
Right.
in Goodfellas.
Yep.
We could go on and
We
on.
could go on forever.
God, we are so good.
Can we talk about how actually when you're a kid, you're like, Duncan's Toy Chest. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then you watch it as an adult, you're like,
Dude,
Is this the worst toy store
beautiful
ever?
shots of everything, people hustling and bustling. It's just like, wow, this place is really busy on Christmas. Yeah.
Wow.
Where are all the actual toys?
Yeah,
Where is anything?
where's the good toys?
The only good stuff is a can of slime that they had in the back
Yeah.
corner, and
And a Swiss Army knife that probably doesn't have any real tools to it, and a map.
Why don't you take the turtle tops?
The turtle.
Where's the
tap.
fucking
Yeah.
Terminator arm, dude?
Don't.
What the hell's going on?
Are there any Transformers on the tree? Like, are there?
Is
any-
Optimus Prime like the star on the tree? Because
Yeah.
like I like Optimus Prime a lot.
Do you have any? Do you have any X-Men?
Two turtle doves. May I suggest it?
Two turtle.
Does
doves.
Harrison still have his turtle dove?
He does.
Okay,
it's on the
good.
tree.
All right. Well, my daughter
amazing.
gave Harrison a turtle dove.
That's
so-
awesome.
It's on the tree.
You make me want to cry.
I know.
And I tried to write it like that on the card we gave him, but I don't know how to spell turtle doves.
There's
he-
a lot of U's.
I think Michael said lovable face. I think, didn't he, Michael Giuliano?
It was Duncan.
Duncan. I mean, he's
Oh,
got to
yeah.
be, right?
Yeah.
He's
This is
definitely-
his second that he. Who is this?
Yeah, he was in something.
Who is Duncan?
I got you.
Oh.
Eddie Braddock.
He was-
Braddock.
I don't know if he was in anything else. Where I know him, he was
we
Wally from Wally World.
Well, he was
National
also-
Lampoon's Vacation.
He was also in Rookie of the Year. He was the owner.
That's right. Yeah, that's where we
Then
know
I
him.
don't think. Oh, weird. So this is his second role. I guess he's done for
Yes.
us.
No, it'd be a. Wouldn't it? Oh, wait, that's right.
We
'cause
didn't
have
do
done-
National Lampoon.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah.
is Wally from Wally World.
Right,
We haven't
right.
done National Lampoon's Vacation.
No, we have not.
We're
dude,
staying in business for a long time.
Sean,
bro.
we've done Christmas Vacation. Your favorite.
Yeah, I love it.
Christmas Vacation. Christmas Vacation. All right.
Chevy Chase was in Iowa yesterday.
Is he gone yet?
Yep.
Thank you. I'm sure he was miserable here too.
Yes, he was, man.
I know we are past it everything, but I did need to make mention again that another point was in fact the bozo thing. And like at one point, I mean, I'm literally like in my computer and like on my phone, like making notes, and I look over and Harrison at that point is just doing this. He's just doing. When he's doing the get out of here, you nosy little, and the sheriff's just like shaking his fist,
That's how you learn, man.
and then he runs into the little table. He's like, "Oh, ouch!" He's like, "Yeah, buddy, that sucks." It's just one of those favorite moments, man. Like it was the rewindable moment when you were a
Yeah.
kid, right? And I think there's a few of those, but I think that it is my favorite moment though. Like I said in the beginning, is the limousine and the pizza.
Yeah, the thing about this movie is it's clearly like a rinse and repeat. Do the same things, make the same gags happen. But I do like when they kind of touch on something that you think's going to be the same, but it's not.
Yeah.
Like when he does exit the store and Marv and Harry find him, and they reach for him and grab him, just like they would in the first. But this time,
Yes.
they're in the city.
It's in public.
and there's a million people around, and he screams, and everybody's just like, oh, like
Apparently you can get away with that too.
well, that's but maybe not 92. But at least in this one, like they think in their head they're just gonna grab them like
Yeah.
they did in the first one, but no, they can't because. And that scream is just fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
God damn.
It's an up there scream, man. It's a top tier scream, and this goes back to there is just something every time now during this movie more so than the first one. If Marv is on screen, I'm watching Marv.
Oh yeah.
Because when he does that scream and it finishes up and he's running away, he like it cuts back to Marv and Harry, and Harry's like, "Ugh," but Marv's like, he's like thinks it's kind of funny or something, and then they're taking off after him. And like it's just another little nugget of Daniel Stern on there that you're just like, God, that's funny, man.
Yeah.
He just seems so invested in this character, and I just appreciate it so much.
Really does. And I love the hiya pal.
Yeah. Hiya,
It's
pal.
just like there he is. It's like watching these movies, you're just like, oh, there they are. But like obviously as Kevin, you're like,
Yeah.
fuck. But then I think the best scene in the entire movie is when he gets back to the hotel. And You get the Tommy, or like the faces with whatever.
Angels with filthier souls.
Souls.
Angels with filthier souls kind of fake out again, but with Tim Curry. And like it is just like the best performance in this movie. It's gonna get it confusing. I just know it is at the end of the year.
Makes sense.
But his performance is just amazing. He's like down on your knees, just like say I love you. I love you, dude. No one can. No one can do this, and like even the script and the filmmaking of it too is like what's the old guy's name?
Cliff.
And
Bob. Cliff.
just the perspective shot of like down the line of characters and them just like leaning in like
Yeah.
Rob Schneider looks disgusted. Everyone else is confused, but Rob Schneider's
he's
like,
great too. Cliff, like
Because
Cliff's
Cliff,
great.
up until he hears his name, he's just like, oh, despicable.
yeah, and Cliff.
not Boney Bob.
I don't know, man. Like I said, it's Home Alone, but with Tim Curry.
This
and
would have been terrible without Tim Curry.
This
rehash right here.
Yes, and like this group is just funny as hell together too, and like to make this just like a scene, but commanded by Tim Curry is my fucking favorite, and I don't know, Confusey goes out to him right now because he just gets it.
Don't give me that. You've been smooching with everybody. Snuffy, Al, Leo, Little Mo with the gimpy leg, Cheeks, Boney Bob, Cliff. I could go on forever, baby.
I do have a logistical question though. How does Kevin get out of the hotel room?
True.
There must be a back door.
Oh
sort
yeah,
of
I feel
thing.
like there was like a side door.
There's like a
Is there
secondary.
there's multiple doors into the suite. It's like an adjoining suite that they can like open up the middle or something like that.
It must.
The maid's door.
Oh, the maid's door. It's one of them hotels.
I don't know.
I mean, Herbert Hoover did stay on this floor in this. Maybe in this room. So if you got, the vacuum
need a
cleaner
couple
guy
exits.
staying here, you
it
gotta
did
have a
need
couple.
to be wheelchair accessible.
Right.
I don't know if that was the
Right.
one.
No one knows.
Yeah.
No one
Yep.
knows. Yeah, it's fine.
Well, let's move on to scene 4 then. The family finds out that he's in New York and they head to the airport. Kevin is lost in Central Park and encounters the pigeon lady who he befriends. He decides to stop them by rigging his uncle's townhouse with bobby traps. The family arrives to the hotel to confront the hotel staff. Kate heads out to look for him.
Watch it, kid.
By the way, another mild connection here. The same scream that happens when he crosses in front of the fish truck, "Get out of the way, kid!" is the same voice, mark my words, as that guy he sees again.
They just
in the
needed
park.
a voiceover. Maybe
Yeah.
he was the truck driver.
I that's what I'm saying. I think he was the truck driver, and he's. I bet he says, "Watch it, kid!" And that's why he laughs so hard. Maybe he recognizes him.
Okay.
Another thing
Wow.
this movie is missing is Ken Hudson Jr. Or what's his name?
Oh,
Ernie
yes.
Hudson?
Ernie Hudson. No.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
Ken.
Yeah. Okay.
Ken Hudson.
Ken
Hudson.
Hudson.
I
I
think
think
it's
it's Ken
Ken
Hudson.
Hudson.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, he was in the first one as a Santa Claus, and he called into the show in that,
Santa
in that
Claus.
episode. He could have done a bunch of voices.
You're right.
Could have done a bunch of voices.
Yeah. Can I ask you guys? There are moments when you're a kid, and especially if you watch this with a sibling or a friend or something, there are moments as a kid that you may find yourself in at a movie just screaming like, just being upset with something. Can I ask? Did you guys, when you were a kid, feel so irritated that he grabbed 3 cookies from this thing and then he left? It's like, why don't you grab? You have a whole thing there.
All of them.
Why don't you just clear it into your backpack so
Yeah.
you've got more stuff to eat?
Very true.
Are you on a diet while lost in New York?
My brother and I were just like, why do you only grab 3 cookies?
Because
What an idiot.
you know what's frustrating is because the food in this movie looks so goddamn good.
All looks amazing.
Do we like the pizza?
You know what?
Yeah.
I did have the note
It's the
where I'm
steam.
like, it is like the best looking pizza in cinema history nowadays. Nowadays,
And
it doesn't hold up.
what I do like is that it is a solid crust. Like it doesn't droop. I know a lot of people like the
Yeah.
droop, but he holds it up and there's no droop there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it's no flop. You
No
know.
flop, sorry.
Yeah. Please. No, it's a great pizza, but I think it's the steam that rises off of
Yeah.
it in
Yes.
this cold
That's
weather.
what it does.
And
That
Rob
really does.
Schneider opening it for you.
Yeah.
Your very own
In
cheese pizza.
And then you also couple that with the pouring of that Coke.
Yes, that
Yeah.
looks really good.
Yeah.
Which
Something
was
about
Pepsi in the first one.
I know.
Isn't that weird?
Pepsi wouldn't pony up.
I guess so.
Yeah, see?
Fuckers.
So when he does meet Pigeon Lady, I've always wondered this, and I don't know if there's an answer. Are they implying that Pigeon Lady lives in the upstairs unit of Carnegie Hall?
Yeah, I bet the rent's crazy there. You know?
I feel like it's some people could say that they think she lives there
I think
because
it's
she's like,
her-
I've seen a million. I've seen Korn here. I've seen Pantera. I've seen all the
Pantera.
greats on this stage.
Siberian Orchestra.
Oh, Lindsay Sterling.
Yeah.
But
I even
does
saw
she-
a rat.
I mean, they
Gorillas.
kind of imply that, and like, if she doesn't live there, or even if she does, like, how do you get there? How do these birds get there? How are the birds not flying out through the thing?
Yeah,
and
you would think
blowing
there'd
her
be an
cover?
exterminator like in that bitch.
Where's she getting this hot chocolate? You know, or did they get that ahead of time? And by the way, you had to get up there somehow. I mean, that's a lot of stairs.
Yeah.
Number one.
Especially for somebody not getting a lot of calories
Correct.
in her diet during the day.
Yeah. I mean, like, at any moment, you do just think somebody's just going to open it, like, to, like, move some old instruments around. It's like, get out. You can't be up here, lady. I've told
Again,
you a
and
million
Told
times.
you.
Oh, just absolute frustration. They know her too well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know with this because one, the conductor doing the symphony, why not just get John Williams?
Yeah.
Why wasn't that a cameo
What
by
the
John
hell,
Williams?
Wall?
He's credited in this as John Zimmer. So
Yeah, it's totally
Yeah.
different.
John Zimmer.
Yeah.
Did you just come up with that?
John Zilliams.
Did you
Yeah.
write that or
No, I
Hans,
didn't.
Hans
I just-
Zilliams. Yeah,
son of a
Yeah.
bitch?
Yeah, no.
that's him.
I want to give you.
I'm really sorry, guys.
No, no,
I know it's not great, but at the same time,
She's like, my husband left me, and I just kind of stopped trusting people. Does this whole spiel and everything, and he says, "Forgive me for saying this, but that seems kind of like a dumb thing to do."
and
like,
then for
Fuck
her,
yeah, Kevin.
for her to have the audacity to be like, I never thought of it that way.
You mean you've spent the last 15 years of your life completely and remotely alone, and you've
Yeah.
never thought about that?
Yeah.
You've never mentally searched what went wrong.
I just needed the wisdom of a 10-year-old.
What
I've
wisdom?
been hanging out with the wrong crowd. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, birds.
Dude, listen, Kevin, this is absolutely terrible advice. Kevin basically is like, what if you just start talking to people and like falling in love? How about it?
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's the worst advice you could ever give her. How about go take a fucking shower
Yeah.
and get a job
Yeah. At the end
and
of
ditch
this,
these birds out?
it is 100%. It's 100%. It's like, you get to talk to people and, you let people find you and, let love back into your heart. But take a shower first and, clean yourself
Be
up.
presentable.
Can I
You
come?
know.
You're staying in that hotel. Can I come in and to start talking to your family? No.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. There's zero chance that you can come inside.
You
this
have
hotel.
bird shit all over you.
All over you.
I can't have you.
I can't have this happen to my family right now.
I just wanted to give you this this useless trinket that you're going to have to carry around for the entirety of your life.
You will break this within
Yeah.
a week.
Yeah.
Just trying to sit down or do something. Or
You'll
reach in your
try and
pocket.
sell it, and you might get $1 out of it.
You're going to try to pawn this.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I'm going to give you this useless trinket while you're standing out here in, essentially leftover blizzard conditions, like still cold, still super cold out. I have to run back inside.
What if I'm changing the ending? What if he does bring her inside? He brings her inside. He cleans her up. Explains to the family that she saved his life. Family's like, okay, cool. And he's like, listen, all I'm asking is she's coming to live with us 2 weeks max back in Chicago. The family says, okay. She falls in love with old man Marley. Moves in next door with old man Marley.
I really like that.
How do
Home
we?
Alone 3 should have been that.
Yeah. Yeah. Home Alone 3, Marley and Me.
Just goddamn it.
Yeah.
It's his movie. It's Christmas time. Give it to him.
It's in Christmas spirit. I just feel like giving,
Give it to me. Turns out her name's me.
Yeah, we don't really
I
know
don't
her
think we know her name.
Pigeon Lady.
Pitch and lay me. Marley and
It actually ends up being a pretty sad story.
Yeah, it's actually not a
They
great
die.
movie.
They both die.
Oh yeah,
Carbon monoxide. It's not good.
Yeah, they
before they-
suffer.
Before they born Weird Al. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it all relates.
I was gonna say something along the lines of like maybe Pigeon Lady is like the long lost wife of Marley,
That's
Yeah.
possible.
right? Like that's the way I always felt like as a kid. You know?
Marley?
Yeah.
Me?
It is like touching though. Like your heart may be broken, but it's not gone. It was gone when it was gone. If it was gone, you wouldn't be this nice. He says, "It's like, yeah, man, Kevin, God damn it."
You're good at this, man.
But then, like, he says, and then he says to her, "He's like, if you need someone to trust, you can count on me." She's like, "Don't make any promises you can't keep." Okay.
well,
Well,
I am 10.
I am 10 and I don't have a phone.
Yeah.
And I won't be back here.
I have no responsibilities, and you're definitely not one.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah. It's you're not one. I can't do it. Oh, it's fine.
The family does show up, and again, this is just another negative of this family. The family really blames it on the hotel staff.
mm-hmm.
Why did
Really?
you let him leave?
No. This is literally your fault. She says, because of you, our child is lost in one of the biggest cities in the world. That is 100% your fault
Yeah.
as the parents. This has nothing to do with
I was
them.
trying to figure out your credit card fraud thing
Yeah.
and get our money because my boss is the POTUS. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
What do you want me to do?
He had a convincing story. He's a very smart 10-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
But then we kind of realized something was wrong, so we figured it out. What if this kid was a lifelong thief and stole your credit card? Like,
Yeah.
you'd be really happy that we figured this out.
Did Tim Curry, did this guy take the best approach when Kevin runs back in and he is saying these two guys are after me, and he says stolen credit card? Let's see what the police have to say. You're right. Pretty intimidating to do to a 10-year-old. That being said, still not his fault.
Yeah.
But also, Kevin, yes, you're right. You caught me red-handed. Let's see what the police have to do about this, because you're being chased by the sticky bandits.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep, you got me.
I will say though that the original script did instead of the French guy on the plane, it was a teenage girl, and he was talking to her, and this is honest. I'm not joking.
Okay.
Like she was saying like that she got lost one time, and traveling somewhere somehow, and she went to the cops and they didn't help her, and she had heard stories of kids being sent to homes.
Oh, cool. Okay, so they're
And so Kevin
she
was
instilled
afraid
some fear.
to go to the cops.
Really?
That's what it was in the original script.
Okay.
Yeah, I found that really interesting. I'm like, oh wow, it might have been a little dark for this movie because of the tone
Yeah.
a little bit, but it would have explained
We
that.
kind of need that, because at this point he should have 100% called the cops, been like, I'm lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm being chased by these guys. They escaped prison. And then even later, when he finds out they're robbing the store, call the cops.
Yeah.
You don't have to go through the rigmarole of we're going to lower them into a building. It's like, no, just be like, I know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Go there.
Yeah.
I would have liked that explanation.
I do too.
And to get, I don't know, what actor around these times. Fucking
You know who it should have been?
who?
I'm going to tell you right now. It should have been.
Kirsten Dunst. That's what I was thinking.
Actually, did you hear Kate Hudson was apparently in the choir? She's
Oh, really?
uncredited
Oh.
cast of the choir. I want Shawnee Smith.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
Because Shawnee Smith would have been, she's 55, she's born in 69. What was this, 92? She would have been 23?
Something, yeah.
Yeah. And but young looking, she could have played a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
Shawnee Smith.
She
That's
was
what I wanted.
in Saw.
Saw. She's
Yes.
the main Saw girl in the first couple.
Main Saw girl.
You know.
Well, I do know the Saw movies. I can't picture her face though. I don't know why. I apologize. I do like that a lot though, and it's kind of that hard. Oh yeah, 100%.
Shawnee Smith.
Thank you. It's that moment that he is getting chased in the hotel. He's going through this whole thing. He does the slide through. What is this lady planning to do? what is this lady? What is this maneuver, goalie in the net thing, kind of a thing that she's doing?
That's what I do.
Butterfly.
That's what I do with my dog
Yeah.
when we're throwing the ball and shit.
And it's just like, lady, what are you going to do? And like that was always the most annoying thing to me. But again, we're just kind of saved by this beautiful slapstick moment with the cherry on top of dragging Rob Schneider away.
Yeah.
Come along,
It's
Cedric.
amazing. The sound.
You know, it's all great, man. Like all that stuff of you know, him trying to escape. I mean, we got to be getting to the Home Alone-ness, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kevin arrives at the toy store during Harry and Marv's robbery, takes their picture, and breaks a window, triggering the store's alarm. He then lures them into the townhouse where they spring the traps and suffer various injuries. Kevin calls the police and lures them into Central Park where they capture him. The pigeon lady intervenes and they're captured. Mr. Duncan sends presents to the hotel for Kevin's family when they wake up. Kevin reconciles with his family and goes to Central Park to give the pigeon lady a useless trinket.
I mean, you get here, it's Home Alone action at its finest, you know? Like, the brick throw, the first brick throw, holy shit, dude. Like, this guy, Marv would be, yeah, it's amazing. He would be a bloody fucking mess by the end of those bricks. And, like, even the dents in his forehead look bad.
Do we think ultimately all of these are worse than the first one, right?
Yeah.
As a collective.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you talk about the brick, and a lot of people have talked about how that would have...
That was it.
He's done.
But then you notice it. So there's 100-pound bag of plaster.
Yes.
That when he's pulling on the rope,
directly on his head.
3 stories, 30 feet, 100 pounds, and you think you visually think it's not a big deal because it like poofs.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's
that's fun.
It's okay. It's 100 pounds of feathers. That's funny. It's 100 pounds.
It's still gravity.
It's still 100 pounds in gravity.
Yes.
That and like the lead pipe. Oh, the lead pipe first just hits him, and then it. This
so
is
good.
bad, dude.
Well,
This is so rough.
They did have and like I don't even know why you need this to happen or something, like if they did this in a serious tone, but apparently they were like we had like professionals review like emergency response people.
Dude.
We asked a doctor.
I want to do this for this movie.
Okay, yeah,
All
same.
right, can we do that? Okay. But it's just like you're just sitting there like, oh yeah, that brick, yeah, that definitely hurt. No shit. Like they said that these guys would be dead about like 6 times over.
Oh yeah,
through this whole
when
thing.
your head goes on fire, that's gotta hurt.
Oof,
That's
yeah.
gonna burn the skin.
Yeah.
I think.
Oof, yeah.
I think that's gonna torch some skin a little bit.
Even the him slipping off of the ladder thing. And
The sound design in the first one and the second one are just like that sends it over the top.
It's incredible. I mean, I like it seems like this movie, and I think it is a fact that they just
turn it up.
Yeah,
they just turn it up a little bit, but I think they turned up like the amount of gags because a lot of this scene, Kevin's not really in it much.
You're right.
Until like he needs like he's like a host of a podcast. Like Marv and Harry are AJ and I going off the rails on some bullshit, and then Mike is like, "Hey guys, let's move on to scene 3."
Let's rope this in a little bit. Let's give some reminders of why we're here.
Exactly. That's what Kevin is doing. That's 100% what he's doing.
Yeah.
But I'm here for it. So the movie kind of takes a meandering kind of detour a little bit, even though that's what Home Alone is what this is.
We're here. This is what we came for.
Yeah, absolutely. But like, I think he was a little bit more involved in the other traps in the first one. It feels like.
Yeah. No, I think you're absolutely right. Yeah.
That's
a good way of putting it.
This is, again, we have to take it back to kind of this moment, even like, I think we really got into it like on Friday the 13th, where let's compare the timeline here of when he gets here. And apparently he has time enough to actually map out the house and like right where he's going to put the things. And he knows where all the stuff is that he's going to use in his traps. And he gets this accomplished in about 25 minutes. You know what I mean? Like
he's done it before
in an unfamiliar environment.
True.
And like And like, how does he know? How do you know it's like, oh, you know what? I'm going to hook up electricity to the sink because he's going to try to wash his hands at some point.
AC/DC isn't just a band.
That's the.
I'm going to fill the
an
toilet
arc
with
welder.
kerosene because you know what? He's going to need to use the toilet.
That's the best part about this one and the second one is because you just can't think about it that way. Because if he designs, they all have to go in order in sequence.
Yeah.
And if one goes out of sequence, the rest of them are fucked.
It is like a Rube Goldberg
It
kind
has
of
to
thing.
go this way.
You're 100% right.
I also wondered, like, what if he did kill someone? Like, what if one of these guys died? This is not exactly the definition of self-defense.
No.
The first one, yes. Like
He baited them.
Yes, the first
Most-
one, you're there.
Most people are going to side with a kid, I would imagine. But
How?
They don't know the story. What if there's just two dead guys in a house and with all these weird traps that, by the way, he left his stupid little crayon booby trap drawings.
yeah.
before you brought that up, I'm like, well, that's just New York.
I was just say, it's like, dude,
As
by the
long
end
as
of
Kevin
this,
leaves, we're good.
By the end of this, they look like squatters anyway, like in a bad
Whoops.
place, and they've had running with the drugs with skag.
It's the fourth one this
and,
week.
Just hitting too much skag, and they assume that's just all it is. And by the way, he's also basically destroyed Uncle Rob's house.
But he
Any
didn't
renovation.
clean this one up.
No.
He cleaned his home one up, but he did not clean this one up. I guarantee it.
Any renovations that were on the right path are completely undone.
This is fine. Uncle Rob's fine. This is a money laundering thing anyway.
right.
Oh, yeah.
Uncle
That's a good
Rob
point.
is totally fine with this because
He-
Uncle Rob and Peter McAllister are in the mob.
Yes.
That's right.
Everyone
That's right.
knows that.
This was
Jesus.
another real estate cover for their laundering.
Yes.
They've
You're right.
never actually lived there, nor do they plan on living there.
I think the best line in the movie is,
Wow, what a hole! I say that anytime there's a hole anywhere. I say that.
So
along
wow,
with Tim
we've-
Curry saying pizza. There's nobody else who can say that line other than Daniel Stern.
there's also the moment when the light bulb goes on above Tim Curry's
Yes.
head. He's just like
So dumb and so awesome.
ridiculous. And it is the oh man, what was I gonna say? It's and then the electrocution.
Oh yeah,
It was the other rewindable moment.
Amazing.
That you just we died laughing
It's
at
his
this.
scream. It's his scream.
And
Like
yeah.
it is like it's so it's so stupid. Yes.
no,
It's like, yeah, Harrison would find that hilarious,
Yeah.
yes, but only Harrison should find that hilarious.
Yeah.
But it transcends.
It does.
Like I was laughing my ass off along with my wife. It's so fucking good.
The first time this must be how you know you've got gold in front of you and you're basically capturing lightning in a bottle, no pun intended to the scene, that you are just like that. Apparently, the first time that this take happened, Chris Columbus was literally crying, laughing
God.
obnoxiously at the end product, and he couldn't even yell cut.
So Daniel Stern was laying on the ground waiting for cut,
Yeah,
and he never got it because like Chris Columbus was laughing so hard.
and
That's
all
so good.
All you can hear probably on that set is just like that kind of from the director himself. That's brilliant.
But it doesn't work if this is anybody else.
yeah, I don't know.
It-
man.
it's not funny. It's
No.
not funny if this is anybody else. And I know it's Joe Pesci, but I don't like Joe Pesci as much in this one. I feel like there's too much
with you.
frickin'
Yeah.
like they're like, that was so funny when you did that the first time. Do it a lot. And it's too much frickin'
If there's anybody quote unquote phoning it in, and I don't really think he's doing it,
But-
there is definitely an emphasis on Daniel Stern in this movie, and
you're right.
I don't know. Maybe he just got off of Goodfellas or Casino.
he was just,
I don't
actually,
know.
where was Pesci at in this? I'm going to find out.
But
real
like
quick.
I don't want to say he's phoning it in because like
He's
even,
not.
even behind the scenes stuff. He's like having a great time.
Yeah.
It looks like.
Did you hear he said like Pesci said that he was the only one that like talks shit to Macaulay Culkin?
Oh yeah.
behind the scenes, and he felt like Macaulay liked that because everybody just kissed his ass.
Sure.
And Macaulay would be like, "Hey, what time is it?" Joe Pesci would be like, "I don't know, kid, get out of here."
Yeah, get a fucking watch.
Instead, somebody would be like, "Well, here, just take my watch, have my watch,
Yeah.
and now you always know what time it is."
It's a Rolex. I spent my whole life savings on it. I don't need it back.
That way, the next time you need to know, you don't have to ask. You can just like look at the watch, and he'll be like,
he
Yeah.
just
You'll
treated
notice
him
me,
like
yeah.
shit, and like I think Macaulay really liked that.
That's awesome.
I like hearing that. That's hilarious, to be honest. I do think though too that he has his moments in this, and
Yeah.
I think his head on fire
It's
is
great.
another great moment. I think it's him trying to get, and again he shines at the stairs.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
You know, that when he's saying, "Ma, remember what happened?" No.
Yeah.
Brain damage.
he
Clearly,
is,
we
like-
have brain damage now.
We say Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
He is the dumb.
He's the dumb.
You know what I mean? Like he's technically the smart one of
Right.
the group. So he
He's-
does have that level to him. So yeah, it's a little difficult. There is an air of
It's-
he's Joe Pesci, but also he
He's
is
the brain
That's his character.
to
Yes.
Pinky and the Brain.
Thank you, yeah.
And he's still going to get in trouble and find himself in trouble in these moments, right?
Joe Pesci. Here's the order: Home Alone, Goodfellas, My Cousin Vinny, Lethal Weapon 3, Home Alone 2.
So not much, huh? Wow.
Yeah, so
Dude,
so
we
it's-
have
it's
to
a-
do My Cousin Vinny.
We have to. We have to.
Oh my god.
I know. I did want to say too that, and then we get to the tool chest,
That's the worst one.
and when it is, that was the sound of a tool chest falling down the stairs, and then the nose rip, dude. Like it just every time we just could not get enough of this, and I just remember it so fondly. And then and not that I was like cracking up that hard this time, but it's still very funny. But the moment that I thought, Sean, going back to what you said about like you said, what if he did kill one of these guys? Well, let's flip it. What if they actually killed
Yeah.
this kid? And what if it happened at this moment? Suck brick, kids. And they take him out.
The
and you're
second
just like,
best line.
oh.
And somebody across the street goes, "What the fuck?
What'd you do?" So you just hear somebody. It's like the orphans in wars. Holy shit!
Kids
He had a
movie.
Molotov cocktail.
Jesus! It's just, wow, are they so good? They wear an aftershave.
Dude, that was great. Where is it? Fucking, damn it, I lost it. Someone else.
Just like soaking the rope in kerosene.
Yes.
He's like,
now,
"It's
why would
kerosene!"
anybody soak a rope in kerosene? it's so fucking funny.
What a stunt too! Like when those dudes fall down the rope on the flames, like
Yeah.
those are real people.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I mean, how tall is this building? Like 5-6 stories?
Yeah,
something like
it's at
that?
least 3.
We'll say
3.5.
yeah. Okay, yeah, 3.5. Yeah,
30 feet.
But just going down that far on just a rope,
You're dead.
like they really play that idea down. Like let's say it is 3-4 stories. No way I'm going on that rope.
Yeah, no.
No.
Absolutely not. I'm not doing it.
No matter how good it feels in your crotch area.
No, yeah.
The first time you do it.
You might like, remind you of gym class.
Yeah.
Whatever. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it, bro.
So obviously he gets him captured with the help of the pigeon lady. Yeah, I mean it's what you want. You wanted all the jokes.
By the way, I have
All
to
the
say, to reiterate, I think we've said on the show before, but Pigeon Lady by Wolfie's Just Fine. You have to listen to it. One of the best Christmas songs in the world. I think we said it in Terminator with his songs about Terminator 2. But Pigeon Lady by Wolfie's Just Fine is one of my favorite Christmas songs in the entire world. It just is.
Type in pigeon lady. Wolfie's Just Fine, and then make sure you're in a closed door room where no one can barge in on you. Correct. Maybe you're in a car by yourself on an
Preferably,
interstate,
yes.
where you're not going to be stopped at a stoplight.
Yeah.
Because you're going to cry, and it's going to make you cry real hard. You're going to feel things you haven't felt in a long time, and then you're going to want that feeling for the rest of your life.
Yes.
How do you make something funny so incredibly heartbreaking? Amazing.
Oh,
Well,
weird. It's just this really talented guy named John Lajoie.
John Lajoie. Apparently, John Lajoie can do that, and he's just amazing. So, yeah,
That's TikTok, by the way. You knew where I was going, right?
Oh, yeah.
You guys know when I'm doing that, right? When I'm like, here, it needs to be a minute. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Timer. Okay. No,
You guys know when you're like, when you're coming up with a story.
I had this like random thought. I had this random thought of the pigeon lady comes around. She literally saves Kevin's life.
Yep.
And it's just like, thanks, see ya,
Bye.
deuces, and sets the fireworks off, and like you know that there were birds injured from his fireworks.
Oh,
They got messed up.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and then you have the scream.
Those birds ate, actually, almost all those birds have died. Those birds ate bird seed now soaked in kerosene.
And kerosene and varnish.
And varnish.
Yeah.
Those birds
Paint.
all died.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why that's why there weren't as many birds around her at the very, very end when he goes out there.
The third shift birds all died.
Yeah. Oh, third shift didn't quite make it through. Third shift
If third
birds.
shift was a bird, it would be a pigeon.
It would be these pigeons. And they really thought they were
Yep.
getting a pizza party.
Nope.
And it turns out.
Yeah.
It was a severance package. But, I mean, classic line, finishing up the movie, guys.
Yeah.
Kevin, you spent $967 on room service. And, like, when you see the bill, it's like the fax paper.
Oh, yeah. Missed those.
Like it's a big long bill, but it's
Scary.
just like repetition.
It's just I think it's
reprints.
multiple copies.
Yeah, it's just many copies.
Because all he spent it on was just that ice cream bar.
The ice cream bar and the dessert stuff.
It was $967 total dollars.
Yeah.
So 728 of that was just ice cream.
Right.
Fuck.
And you sales tax was 4.5% there. So $32.76 was sales tax, which means $206.67 was a tip, which is 29.5% added on. That's insane. And they did the math for you. Michael did.
Mike did the math. I had it available. Mike doubled down, confirmed it, and it is $2,167.04
For
Today?
ice cream.
For
ice
today.
cream in today's world.
And so that means the scream today would have been, Kevin, you spent $2,167 on room service.
God.
That's insane.
Damn.
And now you understand why he was so pissed. By the way, this hotel has been put through the ringer.
Okay.
They say, we'd like to give you one of our finest suites.
Okay.
On compliments to the Plaza Hotel. They're all staying in this for 14 people.
Yep.
And then they have the audacity to send up Rob Schneider with a bill for some room service.
Yeah, we comped everything.
We comped everything.
But listen, Joe was there a long time. We got to get him his gratuity, okay?
Yeah.
He spent a lot of time with him. He was putting up with his jokes.
Yeah.
We got to get him paid somehow.
When we assign a person to people here,
Yeah.
like we assign a person to our guests when
Yeah.
they stay here, and he had to work overtime.
Yeah.
My friends.
He's serving a lot of ice cream. in there.
Yeah.
It just kind of like burns me a little
Yep.
bit, you know?
Well, there's two other things that burned me. Number one, how did Duncan know they were staying at the Plaza Hotel?
I have that.
Okay. Number two, how did they get all the presents home to Chicago?
Yeah, that's going to suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New York to Chicago. It's
On an airplane.
A good 17, 20 hours.
Yeah, and your suitcases are already filled.
Yeah.
You don't have any room.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and because you packed for a summer vacation
You did.
in Florida, a
Yep.
warm weather vacation in
Yep.
Florida. So you don't have the room like you packed for a winter. Now, here's so, my brother just came back and we just did the Christmas thing. He was back from Seattle and he flew in, and it's like we try not to give him too many gifts or anything because he doesn't check a bag. You can't travel like during Christmas. It's so hard to travel and like take stuff home with you. So we're just like making it a pain in the ass. But the one thing I will tell you, Mike, is so the note that Kevin
Was
wrote
it on the Plaza
was
Hotel?
on the Plaza Hotel,
Kind of bold of them to assume they're still there.
and it said Kevin McAllister.
Okay.
The one thing I would want to know is how did he know all his family was there?
Yep.
Why did he
How
do
do you know
so
their
much?
names?
He had Kevin McAllister written as what he signed it But how the hell you know all
And
these
their
people?
names were written on all the other presents.
Yeah. And by the way, then you have Frank who's like, hey, don't open any of mine. Who said you got presents
He
from
did,
Duncan's
apparently.
toy chest, Frank? What did Duncan's toy chest? Toy shop.
Hey,
The only
listen,
thing-
Santa is omnipresent, so
The only
Yeah.
thing I have
He's
left is
omnipresent.
that like they did it again at the end of this movie. Kevin straight up takes off, and no one notices.
nope.
Yeah.
They said he could open the first present, but then they just gave him the present, but then they opened the
He
rest.
goes to Central Park
Yeah.
or
Christmas
the
morning?
park
He runs to the park. We can
outside
see-
in New York,
Yeah.
far away from the hotel,
Yeah.
far away from what they're doing.
Through downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did.
They still don't care, and I
just
don't think
don't
they
care.
know. I
don't think
also
they
don't
do
think
either.
I don't think they know what happened in Home Alone 1. I don't think he ever told anybody.
You know
No.
what? It's Home Alone 3, Lost in New York again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lost again in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have bought it.
I totally would. The only other thing I was going to say on this too is the Chicagoan accents that Buzz has in this. Like it is spot on. It's like John Hurd did a voiceover in assistance to him. All right, everybody, calm down. He's got that rasp,
Yeah.
and he's like, calm down. He tries to do the whistle.
It's amazing.
I love Buzz.
He's got
All right, enough of all this gooey show of emotions.
He's got a moment in the first one that's amazing as well.
Yep.
Yeah,
And this is his moment in this one. That's so good.
it's
Devin
great.
Ratray is that
yes,
guy.
yes.
It's great. And then I'll go, and so it's just that moment. And then, like you say, nobody actually waits. It's fine.
Well, boys, we have dissected Home Alone 2 Lost in New York with a modern eye. It's time to give it a modern day rating. Christmas boy, it's your chance. It's Christmas Day right now. People are listening to this, just feeling the holiday mood. What do you got to say about this thing?
You know, we've been watching a decent amount of Christmas movies these days, and I do think that this is just still top tier Christmas movie. Still holds a special place. I try not to let it override that, like, my 2-year-old is watching this movie and actually engaging with it. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty cool. I think that speaks to the magic of this movie, you know, how it does really break through a lot of different age demographics. And I think you have something here for really everyone, you know, pretty much everybody, almost every sort of like age group. And, you know, so it's funny. I think it really does build off of the first one on top of the shoulders of your main three people. You have, and then you add in folks like Tim Curry and Rob Schneider onto this to just inject a little bit more. And I just think it's still fantastic, guys. Like this, I feel like this might be my highest rated Christmas movie now. And the problem is I don't know exactly what that would be. But I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to give this then a 9.25.
9.25 for the age. Just to let you know, you gave the original Home Alone, you gave it an 8.2. So just throwing that out there.
I do think that, yeah, that is how I feel about it. Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, I think this movie is incredible. I do think that of all of the sequels that are like this is probably the best one, that is just kind of like a rehash of the first. This one somehow doesn't totally elevate everything that the first one did, but it elevates it just enough to where it's like almost the same movie, but just not. And it's very interesting because I gave the first Home Alone a 9.5. I'm going to give this a 7.7, but I would interchange them any day. Like if someone put on Home Alone or Home Alone 2,
Correct.
like mix them up. If they just didn't tell me which one they put on, I would watch them both gladly and in the same light. Yeah, this one just has Tim Curry and it's fantastic. Home Alone, the first one, I think to me is just got that, like, I can grasp it a little bit more.
Yep.
Like this one, Home Alone 2 just seems a little bit more. It just seems a little bit more corporate. It seems a little bit more.
It was.
Like
Okay.
Christmassy, like they're trying to sell you something. It's got that tinge to it a little bit.
I totally feel you very much in the same vein of the original. It feels a little bit more raw and even in a darker tone to a degree, just like the Ninja Turtles effect.
Yes.
I like to call it. As Secret of the Used is a little bit more polished up to be a little brighter and that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
However,
However, I would interchange them both. I love them both kind of equally, but on a rating scale, 7.7 for me for Home Alone 2.
Yeah, I love it. I love this movie. It's always going to be something I'm going to watch over Christmas, but it does not have the surprise uniqueness that number one had. Number one came out of left field, nothing ever like it, and took the world by surprise. But now we're just recreating this movie.
Yeah.
And it's that good that fine, like go ahead and recreate it. I love it still, but it can't be as good as the first because it's basically just the first in a different location. But it's still fantastic. It's a 7.9 for me. We got to see what Michael Guiliano says. He says, "So I know I said that this was my favorite childhood Christmas movie, but that's exactly what it was, the predominant Christmas movie of my childhood. And as such, I don't think I've seen this since I was maybe 10 years old. So I was a little worried to watch it now. Like I knew it wouldn't hold up as good as nostalgia made me think it did. That's the entire point of this podcast. But would I really expect it to be 35% on the tomato meter bad?" And the answer to that is, of course not. This movie isn't perfect by any means, but I still found myself loving it through most of it. Like I said in my nostalgic review, maybe it's because I don't have much context of Home Alone 1 to compare it to, but all those negative reviews talking about reused gags and musics just washed right over me because I had no memory of them. All I remember about that movie is a creepy old guy with a shovel and a tarantula on a guy's face, which guarantees I'll never watch it again. So for all intents and purposes, this is the Home Alone movie for me.
Wow.
Just like T2 is the Terminator movie.
Let's go.
Aliens is the Alien movie, and Die Hard with a Vengeance is the Die Hard movie.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, I said it.
I
Fight
like
me.
that stance.
Also, I said the same thing in Crocodile Dundee, but for me, this movie shows off my type of New York. Exactly as I remembered as a kid. Kind of grayscale, crowded, noisy, smelly. It comes through on the screen, but throw some snow and Christmas lights on it, and it's the best place in the world until you're trying to elbow your way through 10,000 other people who are also trying to look at a big dead tree. Okay, so that's enough for scenery. Let's get to the performances. As expected, Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern steal the show. They deserve some kind of awards for going through whatever torture they went through filming this. I know that practical effects doesn't mean they actually got crushed by a giant toolbox, but the guys took their bumps in the movie. Also, not sure if you guys mentioned it, but Joe Pesci in blackface? Ouch, we did not mention that.
Soot.
Soot face. Well, 101 Dalmatians face.
Yeah. Some of those hits were hard enough to be a horror movie kill of the movie gags. And I'm pretty sure Kevin violated the Geneva Conventions as soon as he lit that rope on fire. That bit with the skeleton still freaked me out, but I don't think it was even because of the skeleton. I think it's just Daniel Stern screaming. Either way, this movie did something weird with the sound design, and he needs to be made a scream queen right up there with Janet Leigh and Justin Long. Pigeon Lady, yeah, she's fine. Probably a little quick to be having a heart-to-heart conversations with a 9-year-old at 11 p.m. on Christmas Eve. But then again, it is New York. Catherine O'Hara and John Hurd are the emotional backbones of the movie. As much as you want to give Mr. McAllister crap, humanize the goons, he told Kevin to wait to get the batteries on the plane. He did say it. He just didn't enforce it.
Yeah.
He's right by her side, and he's just as worried as she is. Also, I know the big question is always, what does Kevin's dad do to afford that house and these vacations? New question. What does Uncle Rob do to afford a 3-story apartment on Central Park West? Lovable face is obviously Eddie Bracken as Mr. Duncan. Even as a kid, I remember the whole donating all the toys to sick kids bit being really nice. And yeah, I finally figured out that this is my Tim Curry. This is definitely the movie I've seen him the most in, and he plays it perfectly. Some cons, this movie, like this review, is long. I had to take a pit stop as a ways into it, only to realize I had a whole hour and a half to go. Another con, realizing that Kevin pretty much didn't have to do any of the booby trapping nonsense if he didn't want to. All he had to do was break the window, run away, and hide. What are we going to do? Look up all 50 McAllisters in the phone book by daybreak? Throwing bricks at them just causes him more problems. Modern day rating 7.5. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. So, as
Merry
a group,
Christmas.
7.99 is going to take us on the scale. It's going to be below the first Home Alone.
Dang it.
It's going to tie in 49th spot with The Thing. Home Alone 1 is an 8.53.
Another great Christmas movie.
And that will be our second highest Christmas movie that we have done. Christmas Story 7.9.
Yeah.
So it did beat out A Christmas Story.
It did?
It did. 7.99 for Home Alone 2.
Wow. Okay.
Do you guys know what? 9.2? 8.2?
8 for Home Alone 1.
Yeah.
Home Alone 1 is a 8.53.
8.53. Okay.
That is the number one Christmas movie.
I did. I did look up, and I realized I'm glad I put it there. It is the second best Christmas movie to me. Actually, Lethal Weapon is my favorite Christmas movie. So
my bad,
makes a
dude.
lot of sense.
My bad. Yeah, and actually, I guess if you want to go that route, Die Hard actually is the second. Then it's Home Alone, then Die Hard,
No,
then Lethal
don't
Weapon.
do this
So I'm
to
just
me,
saying, saying it
Michael.
here. We hope you enjoyed the episode. Merry Christmas.
Yippee-ki-yay.
We're moving on to a new year. Thanks for being here. Tune in next week. Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring.
We're doing it.
We're doing it,
We're
followed
going on
by
this
A
journey.
Knight's Tale. And if you are new to the podcast, go back this time last year. We had already switched over from Christmas, so it's RoboCop, and that is a damn fun episode to listen to.
dude.
Dang. Yeah,
So
dude.
enjoy.
Love that. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Guys, thanks so much for listening, being here with your Christmas and your good times and your fun. We appreciate it. So make sure you're checking us out on the old YouTube. We're passing another little milestone. If you want to join in on the fun, check us out on YouTube on the in the studio every single time. And leave us a review on your podcast platform, 5 stars, or leave us a comment. Do the thing, guys. And by all means, check us out on the social media, Confused Breakfast, at Confused Breakfast, anywhere on the social medias.
Fun stuff. ConfusedBreakfast.com as well to see the merch that we have. You can see all the brand new stuff that we have for you guys. It's beautiful. I know you already got it for your loved ones. I know you already got yourself a shirt. It's fine. It's fine. But you can get some more. You can get some more. We'll get some more out there. I love you for it. ConfusedBreakfast.com as well to see the ratings of the movies that we have covered. You can see that this Home Alone 2 made it to the second best Christmas movie that we have covered on the show. Yes, correct. I love it. You can see AJ's ratings. You can see Sean's ratings. That's me. You can see Mike's ratings and the show's ratings overall. Goodbye. I love you. Merry Christmas, you guys.
We got Brian on the controls here in Cedar Rapids for our company that does things for us, Upload Media Group. Yeah, production.
Yeah.
UploadMediaGroup.com. And learn more about our network at clownshead.fm. That's it for us. Goodbye.
Goodbye.